welcome to the Panelverse.
Log in, lights on, the mic ignites. Truth versus fiction in the heat of the night. We got theories, egos, voices collide. Where freedom and madness coincide. They talk in loops, they talk in flames. But every panel got its hall of fame. It's more than drama, it's digital birth. The wildest show on the face of earth. One chat, one truth, one spark, one fight. One clip away from going viral tonight. It's the power of the Panelverse, where the real ones bless and the fakes disperse. Unfiltered minds, no script, no rehearse. Welcome to the chaos, welcome to the curse. The power of the Panelverse. Truth hurts, but we speak it first. From OTW to the cosmic burst. Yeah, we run this, the Panelverse. Jack Talcott preaching peace in the storm. Guru Mind breaking every norm. Rob Noah narrating all the beef, but OTW pull receipts underneath. Sarah Tomato throwing shade in the thread. Raging live while the chat turns red. Slow state ghosting, trying to act cool, but OTW remind them this ain't preschool. We don't fold, we don't flinch, we don't fake. We cooking truth like marble steak. It's the power of the Panelverse, where the real ones bless and the fakes disperse. Unfiltered minds, no script, no rehearse. Welcome to the chaos, welcome to the curse. The power of the Panelverse. Truth hurts, but we speak it first. From OTW to the cosmic burst. Yeah, we run this, the Panelverse. You wanted smoke? Here it is, we built this space for the realest biz. They're scared of real ones, truth versus control. This ain't no clip, it's a war for the soul. From let me set the record straight to now. We built our throne, we took our vow. No scripts, no fear, no hush. We live unfiltered, we crush what's flush. Unfiltered, unapologetic, uncut, unscripted, unbothered. That's OTW, that's the Panelverse. It's the power of the Panelverse, where the truth cuts deep and the lies get worse. Microphones light up, hearts immersed. Welcome to the storm, the blessed, the cursed. The power of the Panelverse. Yeah, we speak for the ones who thirst for freedom, fire, and what's unrehearsed. This is the legend of the Panelverse. OTW Live, where the hate is the proof and the truth is the show. OTW Live, where the hate is the proof and the truth is the show.
Yo, what's up? Lights on, chat popping, energy up. This one's for the night crew, the ride or dies. Grab your snacks, buckle up, let's go. Streams live, chat wild, jokes hitting different. Savage takes, memes loaded, zero resistance. Clowns try to play, we call them out fast. Every moment's fire, every clip's a blast. From hot debates to conspiracies deep. Laughs go dumb, they're losing sleep. Subscribers laughing, haters get roasted. Every single scene, yeah, fully toasted. Turn it up, let them feel the heat. Every comment, every clip, on repeat. No filler, no fake, no lies tonight. Just chaos, jokes in the spotlight.
Girls and clips, ride or die. Laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in the sky. Savage energy, we stay alive. This is the vibe, feel it survive. Panels get messy, drama unfolds, every reaction, pure gold. Politics, memes, ridiculous takes. We stir the pot, watch the chaos awake. Chat going dumb, but we love the scene. Every new vid, another meme machine. Energy high, never sitting still. Every clip hits, every joke kills. Let them shade, let them talk. We unbothered, we own the walk. From chaos to laughs, from dumb to deep. This vibe right here, yeah, it's ours to keep. It's ours to keep. It's ours to keep. It's ours
Smoke in the chat, lights in the sky, laughs hit hard, don't even try, no filter, full chaos on deck, every single moment, yeah, respect. Chaos and clips, ride or die, laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in the sky, savage energy, we stay alive, this is the vibe, feel it's a vibe, chaos and clips, ride or die, laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in the sky, savage energy, we stay alive, this is the vibe, feel it's a vibe. Lights fade, chat still wild, every clip, every joke, untamed style, no script, just energy, just laughs. We stay live, we stay savage, let it last.
Camera rolling, chaos on full blast, talking straight facts, throwing shade at the past. Memes hit hard, jokes hit savage, clowns get exposed, it's the full-on damage. Weekend panels, debates get heated, subscribers laughing, haters defeated. Every clip's gold, every take insane. We don't do fake, we don't play no games. Turn it up, let them hear the truth. Energy going high, we bring the proof. No script, no filter, no lies tonight. Just laugh, smoke in the spotlight. All gas, no brakes. Ride or die, laugh, smoke, true bombs, we fly. Unbothered, savage, we stay alive. This is the vibe, feel it survive. From conspiracy corners to the hottest memes, we stir the pot, shatter the seams, talking politics, drama and fame. Every episode, we switch the game. Savage takes, jokes too spicy, chat going dumb, energy pricey. No filler content, we keep it lit. Every new vid, yeah, another hit. Let them talk, let them shade. We unbothered, we self-made. From dumb to deep, from chaos to real. This is the vibe, they can't steal. Smoke in the chat, lights in the sky, laughs hit hard, don't ask why. No filter, chaos on deck, every single moment, yeah, respect. All gas, no brakes, ride or die, last, smoke, true bombs, we fly. Unbothered, savage, we stay alive. This is the vibe, feel it survive. All gas, no brakes, ride or die, laugh, smoke, true bombs, we fly. Unbothered, savage, we stay alive. This is the vibe, feel it survive. Lights down, but the energy stays. Every clip, every laugh, every blaze, no script, no filter. Just the chaos we make, we keep it loud, we keep it awake.
Yeah.
Ice up, chat while we going live, no chill. Talking straight facts, throwing heat, we keep it real. Memes popping off, jokes hit different, insane. Calling out the clowns while we run this game. Weekend chaos, panels getting messy. Drama in the chat, you know we blessed. No filter, no script, just vibes that slap. Every clip a banger, no cap, no cap. Wild times, no cap, keep it 100 all night. Laugh, smoke, true bombs in sight. Zero fake energy, just straight up fight. Turn it up, turn it loud, we unite, we unite. Wild times, no cap, keep it 100 all night. Laugh, smoke, true bombs in sight. Zero Zero fake energy, just straight up fight. Turn it up, turn it loud, we ignite, we ignite.
From bass to chaos, we stir the pot. Calling out the fake, exposing the plot. Subscribers tuned in, yeah, they know the drill. Every new vid, we serve pure thrill. Jokes hit savage, memes hit harder. Chat going dumb, every night we start. No boring streams, we bring the insane. Fun, truth, and chaos running in our lane.
Wild times, no cap, keep it 100 all night. Laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in sight. Zero fake energy, just straight up fight. Turn it up, turn it loud, we ignite, ignite. Wild times, no cap, keep it 100 all night. Laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in sight. Zero fake energy, just straight up fight. Turn it up, turn it loud, we ignite, ignite. Let them talk, let them shade, we don't care. We unbothered, chaotic, truth everywhere. From funny to savage, from dumb to deep. This vibe right here, yeah, it ain't cheap.
Wild times, no cap, keep it 100 all night.
Laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in sight. Zero fake energy, just straight up fight. Turn it up, turn it loud, we ignite, ignite. Wild times, no cap, keep it 100 all night. Laugh, smoke, truth, bombs in sight. Zero fake energy, just straight up fight. Turn it up, turn it loud, we ignite, ignite.
Lights down, but the chaos staying lit. Every clip, every laugh, can't quit. From memes to wild takes, the vibe's insane. This channel's a roller coaster, remember the name.
Mic hot, energy insane. Laughs erupt, sparks in the frame. Unexpected takes, ridiculous spins. Every moment alive, everyone wins. Screens flash, viewers engage. Unscripted chaos, uncaged. Topics wild, from obscure to extreme. Nothing here boring, nothing's routine. Voices loud, chatter ignites. Every reaction, new heights. Nothing staged, nothing restrained. Pure adrenaline, fully maintained. Late night vibes, ride the wave. Memes are up. Drama we crave, electric moments, nothing's mild, every second untamed style. Every second untamed style. Every second untamed style. Streams collide with insane debates, unexpected twists, open gates, humor sharp, surprises appear, chaos amplified, energy clear, messages fly, emojis explode, subscribers hooked, the story unfolds, no boundaries, no rules in sight, everything goes, every night, let it burn, let it flare, no holding back, nothing spare, from laughter to shock, from high to low, the current flows, feel the show, screens, pulse, reactions ignite, moments surreal, out of sight, every clip hits, everything's bold, energy limitless, never cold. Late night vibes, ride the wave, memes are up, drama we crave, electric moments, nothing's mild, every second untamed style. Every second untamed style. Every second untamed style. Late night vibes, ride the wave, memes are up, drama we crave, electric moments, nothing's mild, every second untamed style. Late night vibes, ride the wave, memes are up, drama we crave, electric moments, nothing's mild, every second untamed style. Lights dim but momentum stays, every laugh, every clip blazing waves, no editing rules, nothing to fake, this is the zone, feel the quake. Lights dim but momentum stays, every laugh, every clip blazing waves, no editing rules, nothing to fake, this is the zone, feel the quake. Every second untamed style. Every second untamed style.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Out of This World Live. I'm your host, Patrick, a.k.a. OTW. We are back here today at the studio to do a pre-debate show. So I was intending to go ahead and do this live stream today because I wanted to get a heads up on the debate. You know, I wanted to be kind of like in advance. And at the same time, I figured I'd restream it from here, the live broadcast, and not restream it from our our friend's place. So that's my choice. I mean, I'm allowed to do that. There was no rules saying that I couldn't, so. Still digesting supper, as it may. So I haven't checked the votes or the polls yet to see where we're at. Shout out to the chat and everybody that's here right now. We got Gregor's in the house, Mr. Thompson from MySpace. Channel member Rachel Zinger's in the house. We also have Browns Boy. And we also have, let me see, Plasma Voids in the house. Welcome to the show. We got Eat My Left Nut. That's a pretty cool name. What's up? What's up? We got channel moderator Jeeps is in the house. That is cool. Who else? Let me see who else. Frequency Forge and Lowdown 5150. Yeah. There's a debate. Yeah, over on this channel here. Let me bring that back up on screen here. Like this. See? That's it. That's the one. Yerba Mate Talks. It's going to be over there. But I'll be restreaming it from over here. Directly from his StreamYard. Yes. No, I had spaghetti for dinner. And had a little kind of like chocolate delights for dessert. And 2 slices of bread with peanut butter to finish it off. And now I'm just drinking, smoking, and waiting. I am waiting. Oh, that's Charles Darwin. Eat my left nut. Isn't it? Oh, see, I go live and Jack wakes up. I don't know why he does that. It's like he starts hearing me speak and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Daddy's speaking. Let's communicate with the daddy. The master. I am the master. Okay, all right. So this is what we're going to... I have a little bit of doom and gloom before we go ahead and, talk about this debate. So we got a little bit of time ahead of us here. We still have 40 minutes before the debate starts. So we got a little bit of Richie from Boston here. And Jack. Jack wants to contribute to the broadcast. And, so we're going to listen. He's got some good shit there. I like this particular thing he did.
So, you like apples? Well, how do you like them apples? At any rate, it's going to be a fairly long video.
You like them apples?
A lot of things to cover because I don't know how many more times any of us are going to be able to upload freely to the internet anymore because we're at that point. We're literally at that point where the president has just completely
we're at that point.
Officially sold us out to cover all the laws and all those other things. And, well, it's going to get ugly, people. Much more so. Sorry to say it, but here it is.
I know. Oh, I kept playing music.
I have to remember to fix that was 2001. Maybe you are or maybe you aren't old enough to remember the 2001 economic recession that we had in the United States. And,
yeah, you remember that?
The way they fixed that was
listen
by
to
blowing
this.
up the World Trade Centers and just causing absolute chaos. But then in 2008, they did us one better. And they introduced the entire world to a term called too big to fail, where they literally took $700 billion out of the treasury or your money and gave it to all the big banks, making them much, much more wealthy. And they said the bailout, the total commitment of the government is $16.8 trillion with $4.6 trillion already paid out, which is insane. But that's not even, that's not even the worst part because right now they're absolutely...
This is great because we got Jay Kraft who actually watched this until the wheels fall off, literally. I think his wheels fell off of his truck or something. Or he was just making a metaphor. I don't know.
Completely and utterly, pardon the term, raping the United States for every single solitary cent that it's worth.
Every goddamn
seriously.
dime.
Remember Doge? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the tariff revenue. Really? 'Cause I
Look
just tried
at
to order
that.
something,
Look at
and
those
on
numbers.
top of the $1,500
Look
they
at
wanted,
those
they also wanted
numbers.
an additional 20% that I had to pay for this item that's always been $1,500 because of the
The
tariffs.
debt-
So this is all
the
an
debt-
illusion, but this isn't. It is an illusion because the real number is more like $160 trillion. It's completely and utterly unrepayable. But that's what they're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? That shouldn't be there. But whatever. It is what it is. I'm still wearing the same shirt that I was wearing 2 days ago, but that's kind of how I roll. But you need to understand something right now. The government that's in place are all demons. These people are all sold their
Demons.
souls to the devil.
They're
And
demons.
It's actually even
I
worse
agree.
than that because
They have to be demons.
I've stayed away from this topic my entire
They're
career.
reptilians.
Okay.
They're all reptilians, Richie. They're reptiles.
Okay, almost 2 decades
Cold-blooded killers.
making videos like this to make sure that anyone that meets me thinks I'm a crazy tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, or making sure
Yeah.
that all of my family and friends
Yeah.
of my past no longer talk to me because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Except what I'm showing you is
Yeah.
actually real information you don't find on the news.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I show you the patents. I show you the words coming out of their mouths. And I show you the results. You see what I'm saying? It's not that hard to understand.
Not that hard.
Quid pro quo. Do you remember when I said that? Trump needs more troops on the ground. Well, what just recently happened? What just recently happened, and what is the quid pro quo? Back when Donald Trump first started talking about deploying troops, I said what they're going to do is they're going to deploy troops, and then they're going to have somebody pull the trigger, which will then allow Trump to have an excuse to put more troops all over the ground. The reason they're putting troops all over the ground isn't to stop crime. It's to stop you and me when they tell you either get the digital credit system
Yeah.
and the digital ID,
Yeah.
or you can't participate in America anymore.
Yeah.
Whatsoever at all. And this isn't just America. This is worldwide. It's already
Worldwide.
begun in China. Let me remind you. But before I remind you, the entire thing about that shooting doesn't stand up to any type of scrutiny whatsoever at all. Just like every other false flag event that they do, because they don't care anymore. But on to China.
In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money,
Homeless.
but because the system erased them.
Imagine a
They're
society
erased.
where everything you do
Digitally
Everything you say.
erased.
and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working. You can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality.
Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse
That
into the
quick,
future,
man,
where
like a blink of
technology
an
doesn't
eye.
just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
Well, I already know that answer, and you should too. Because
Yeah.
when they gave me my channels back in April, I told you the only reason they put us back up
Listen
was
to
for
this.
data farming.
Listen
And
to
every
this.
one of you that have commented, interacted with my channel, and channels like mine are on the list. And the digital ID is absolutely coming to the United States because it's already here. They have studied so hard and so long on how to do this because the digital ID ties directly to the social credit system. And then once they have the social credit system, don't forget, this is the plan. And it always has been a plan. And I've been warning you about the social credit system since 2007. This isn't new. It takes a while, but here it is.
Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison predicts AI
Oracle.
surveillance will be part of our everyday life.
Oracle. You know what Snafu Snap's been talking about all this time? Oracle. Yeah, he's been screaming it on the top of his lungs for like 3 years now. Well, here it is. This is Snafu Snap's credibility kicking in right here.
In the future. During a recent Oracle Q&A, Ellison said AI will soon play a major role in monitoring society through a vast network of interconnected cameras, including security systems, police body cams, and vehicle dash cams.
Everyone would see it. Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior.
Right.
We're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Ellison's vision is for AI to
He
analyze
repeated
data
it
from
twice.
this network of cameras in real time in an attempt to prevent crime while also tracking and influencing public behavior for a safer society. However, the idea raises serious privacy concerns. Critics argue it could lead to a surveillance state with constant monitoring infringing on personal privacy rights, while others say it could help solve crimes faster and provide transparency to citizens.
Obviously,
in cases of excessive
that's the excuse that they're going to be giving people. Yeah, it's for your safety.
force from law enforcement.
We're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised at all times.
Ellison's proposal highlights a growing trend among tech giants to harness AI for societal influence, which may significantly reshape our lives in the coming years.
Have been drawn into this digital spy network in the name of convenience, connectivity, safety, and especially entertainment. The 3D world of cyberspace creates virtual lives that are often more exciting than reality.
Why is this technology being developed? It's all for the culmination of this digital prison from which there will be no escape after all the switches are turned on.
The critical switch would be the introduction of those digital IDs and central bank financial control, a world of zero trust. Zero trust is based on a simple principle: never trust.
Zero trust policy.
Zero trust is a
Zero trust policy, guys. That's what's going to be. We don't trust you. You're going to need to prove to us who you are in every given moment.
protocol that is implemented by cybersecurity companies. And what it really means is we don't trust you, and you have to prove who you are all the time, 24/7. So think of it as going from a world of implicit allow to default deny. In tomorrow's world, once zero trust is implemented in, say, retail, everything will be behind plexiglass doors with a 3D camera, and it'll only be unlocked through your digital identity and facial recognition.
Crazy.
If you have the available carbon credits in your
crazy.
If you reach the limit of your allowance, it could be access denied. This would apply to fuel, to travel, to meat and dairy products, to clothes and other consumer goods. Because everything in life could be valued by its carbon footprint. Even access to the internet could be denied.
So the new world of zero trust is really a world of locks. It's like an inverted prison. You are supposedly free to roam about, but everything you want to access is behind lock and key.
You're going to be completely locked out of the system. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't go to the gas station. You can't go to the grocery store. You may not even be able to go on the internet. They're going to use the digital ID to force you to be able to engage with society. Now, if you're really going to stand your ground, if you're really not going to take the digital ID vaccine, we'll call it, like so many of you did during COVID, we're on our own. We're enemies of the state. We're going to have to deal with each other and each other only, period. Through trade, through cooperation, through networks, etc. Otherwise, you're taking the mark of the beast. You're going headlong into the beast system, straight up and down. No two ways about it. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not hyperbole. This is really, really occurring. As a matter of fact, it's been occurring. So generation by generation, step by step, inch by inch, they have been closing the gap. They now own BlackRock, Blackstone, and all the other companies. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I can't memorize them all. I'm old. It happens. These guys own 88% of the S&P 500. So they own the stock market. They've literally gone over all of our coins over the years, replaced all the silver. Coins used to actually be worth what they were. They took them all out of circulation, and they put back in coins that were a little bit silver, mostly whatever. They turned copper pennies into zinc. They turned nickel, which was actually a precious metal. They replaced all that and stole that all. Then they stole all the land. Then they stole all the houses. I mean, this is absolutely insanity. And everyone's just sitting and doing nothing about it. These dudes are building bunkers for a reason.
Nothing.
And we found out that they're building bunkers. So what do they do about it? They do what they always do. They normalize it by making a Billionaires Building Bunkers television show on Netflix. Because why wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities to bonds across the board. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner.
The opportunity for tokenization is probably the most important component of how we are going to see the evolution of the financial plumbing of the world.
Now, what tokenization means is you'll own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
If you want to take a flight someplace, if you want to eat a steak, if you want to go to the supermarket, if you want a job, if you want to interact with society, it'll all be based 100% on your social credit score, which is tied directly to your digital ID. And these guys will make a decision if your carbon footprint allows you to move, to go outside, to have a steak, to get on a plane. Can't drive a car anymore because they're going to get rid of those because we're not going to have vehicles. Are you ready for this? I've been warning you about this for years, but you know what? It's at the door. It's at the door right now. And you're not going to hear the knock because the door's just going to come flying down.
Fuck.
You need to make a decision if
I'm tired.
you're going to go along with these people or not. Because with their system, well, without their system, you won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to buy or sell. Where have you heard that before?
In the Bible.
You know, it's astonishing, and they know they can get away with it now because COVID, the lockdowns were a test of what Americans will do. Well, I'll tell you what, when they told us to lock down, I did. I locked down my door, I locked down my gas and my supplies, and I went cross country, and I met all of you guys face to face. That's what I did with the lockdown. But you know what I didn't see? I didn't see anybody because nobody was out in the roads. Everyone was doing exactly as told. America, home of the free. And that's how they know they can get away with this because they're going to completely destroy the economy. You're going to wake up and your bank account's going to be 100% zero. All of it. Gone.
Nothing.
But that's okay. They'll have a plan.
Zilch.
It'll
Nada.
be tokenization. Do you see what's... To do what they have to do, they have to do what I'm telling you they're going to do. And I've been telling you for so long now, for over a decade, that this was coming. Well, now it's here. Now it is here. So if you were smart, get your money out of the bank right now, turn it into gold and silver.
Sorry about that, man.
And have it shipped to your house so you actually have your physical wealth in hand. And if we can somehow get past these people on the other side, at least you'll have something to rebuild with. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm telling you to do it because I never did it. I gave mine all away. I gave it all away because I didn't still think I'd be here. I never thought I'd make it to 58 years old, but here I am. You see what I'm saying? And I'm still going to warn you till the wheel. I'm not going to say till the wheels fall off. I'm not going to say that because they have, and I'm still doing it. I'm still right here because the wheels fell off. It's that far. It takes that long for parts, etc. And it's insane. But whatever. You know what I'm saying. You're going to have to make a decision. Because you're going to treat you just like they did to the people in China. They're already doing it to the people in India. Other countries are already doing it, and now they're circling us right now, and they're pushing it so hard, and people are so greedy, and their hearts are so cold. They believe in this guy from BlackRock somehow is going to help them become wealthy through this new tokenization. It's bad, and you've been warned.
Is BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, these giant corporations which own 88% of the S&P 500 are going into real estate. By 2030, these giant corporations are on track to own 60% of the single-family homes in our country. So BlackRock wants to be everybody's landlord and everybody's neighbor, but I'm not going to let that happen.
It's still astonishing to me that people think that Trump and RFK, these people are here to stop things. They are part of it, 1,000%. 1,000% is impossible, but 100%, period. And here's the SEC manager literally parroting what Larry Fink said. Larry Fink, it's in the name, it's right there.
Are the major banks and the brokers out there today moving increasingly toward tokenization?
Oh, absolutely. And it's the way the world will be, here in maybe not even in 10 years, maybe even a lot less time, maybe a couple of years from now.
Not even 10 years, maybe a couple of years from now. These people are puppets. These people are evil. Complete, straight, total evil. And I'm going to by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how evil. Something I've never said in a video before, something I've stayed away. But the more I look into it, the more I'm starting to realize what I've always known is actually real. And now I figured out how they can live with the chemtrails. But we'll get to that. But this is what Trump is.
They're reptilians.
Hallelujah means glory to God in every language. Hallelujah. There's one other word that means one thing in every language, and that's MAGA. And it means high satanic priest or high magician. Period. Donald Trump is a magician. Whatever. Maybe that's why he's got such wacky hair. Maybe that's why people believe him, even though he just lies and lies. You don't become a billionaire twice, pushing the flag of another country, running for president of our country, and still somehow win. You see what I'm saying? But this is what Donald Trump is. Let me remind you.
In how their life is conducted or what they're in support of.
You know, I just want to share with you one really funny opinion. But there is in Lapland, there is a group of the shamans there who do something called collective dreaming. They will go together in seclusion and do the rituals with, eating very little food and being in solitude for a long time. And they will go and dream the dreams. And the dream have to be collective, same dream. So coming out of this dream, once the shaman told me that actually the best thing happened in this planet right now is the Trump to be the president. I said, how is this possible? Is the best thing to happen? He said, yes, because
Rima Abramovich is now, she's pushing Trump. That's great.
Because he's so irrational, he's so crazy. That's actually create that awakening that we finally wake up. Because before it will be another guy and everything looks similar. But he's so different than anything else. So he's the magician who waking us up. What do you think about that? That kind of theory. I know, it's speechless, I understand. but this is one opinion.
So that's a Marina Abramovich telling you exactly who Trump is. And she said this on numerous occasions. And it makes a lot of sense when you look at things. But if you don't know who Marina Abramovich is, she's a good friend to all the wealthiest people on earth, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all the rich people. And here she's making she's writing a spell on a wall in a video she made in 1997 that says, with a sharp knife, cut very deeply into your finger and your left hand and eat the pain. And she's painting this. This paint is poop, blood, urine, period blood, and breast milk. And she's explaining exactly how to carry out a witch's spell, because that's what she is. This makes no sense, but this is mainstream. This is high level. This is what these people are and what they do. And by the time I get to this end of the video, you're going to understand why this all makes sense. These aren't humans. These people might not have sold their souls. These might just be inbreds that go all the way back to the mighty men, the men of old, the people that so many statues were made of over the years. You see what I'm saying? Because in this particular spiritual spell casting incantation, that little thing down on the bottom, that's a golem. And she's trying to animate it. This is real. This is very real. And it hasn't been hidden. It's been on the internet for years. I've shown this video, I don't know how many times over the years, but there, as they say, is that. But here's the next step in their plan.
Anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet.
So this is the trick that they're playing, and that will make its way right over here to the United States. We're going to be the last in line for everything. And for those, I've said this in many videos, this is the new world order. It's not the new American order. So there's no leaving America to escape this at all. They've already got you guys under control. They already do whatever they want in all the other countries for the most part. But here's a funny thing. One of his sales pitches was, we don't let people walk around the streets with masks on. Are you sure? Because remember in 2020, all the way to 22, people wearing 1, 2, 3 masks at all times, no matter what, and it was no big deal. There was no uptick in crime. There was no nothing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just amazing how they go after the injured, the elderly, and the children. And I mean that literally. They do it in all ways. But anything bad they want to do, they say it about them. These guys want to run the entire world, but they can't run a country. They can't run a state. They can't run a police station. They can't run anything, but they want to run the entire world. And they want to make everything digitally. Well, let me tell you a secret. You can't hack a $10 bill, but you can hack digital all day, every day, at all times. So that on its face right there should stop this entire thing in its tracks, but it's not. It's not. It's like they've got a deadline and they've got to meet it. Well, they do, and it's 2030, and it's already begun. It started in 2025 like we've never seen. It's amazing. So let me get on with this. I want to talk about chemtrails, okay, because some information just came to light, and it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, and it turns out it might actually be real. Chemtrails haven't stopped. This is recent. Chemtrails are cranking out like there's no tomorrow, no pun intended if there is a pun there. But these guys are spraying this for several different reasons. It blocks out the sun, which we need sun to live. Everything on Earth needs sun to live, and they're blocking out the sun effectively. And Bill Gates suddenly decided he's not going to spray the sky anymore, so Elon Musk is picking up the mantle. But the sky must be sprayed nonetheless. But the thing is they're spraying barium, strontium, and aluminum. We know this for a fact because people have been testing it, and it comes back conclusively every single solitary time, even from the most remote, pristine places on Earth where aluminum, barium, or strontium should never be. And yet they are. They're there.
Making a condensation trail is very similar in many ways to when you go outside on a cold day and exhale. You create a condensation trail. That little cloud is a condensation trail. Now, if you take a 2-mile walk on a cold day and you can turn around and you can see your condensation trail tracking all the way back for 2 miles, that's how crazy it is to think that what we're looking in the sky is actually condensation trails.
The contrails, not the chemical, the contrails occur because of cold air, minus 30. It takes a high altitude, around 30,000 feet plus. There's carbon dioxide and water vapor in that exhaust. That turns to ice crystals, and that's what you see, the white stream behind it. Those white crystals of ice warm up, dissolve, and the smoke goes away. And it never lasts more than a minute. What we're seeing now, and I first could not believe it, and I started looking at the skies, and these are not normal. They're not natural. There's something going on. I don't know who it is or why they're doing it. All I can testify is it's not natural and it's not normal. It's got to be some outside influence doing that. Thank you.
I'm here to give you testimony that chemtrails, they're not contrails, are indeed real. They're spraying almost every day. I watch the clouds and watch the spraying program going on. I want to tell you that we're in very great danger from the pollution that's coming down over us. And we've been led astray by the military-industrial complex, and they're responsible for the cloud's creation and weather manipulation programs. They're dark operations. That's why they're not out in the media.
I look around and I see people are starting to look up and see this. Many times I've spoken about chemtrails, and I get this blank look on my face. What are you talking about? I'm saying, look up. As a pilot, before I fly, I look up. And so, boy, they're really out there working.
When you look up at the sun and you see a white haze, that is aluminum floating in the air right now, and it's coming from the aircraft.
There's a huge amount of aluminum being found because these sprays have aluminum, strontium, barium, manganese. And there's a lot of argument that aluminum is very common to be found, but aluminum is only common in a bonded form. It's not common in a free form, and we're finding high rates of free aluminum in the soil, which is not natural.
The metal compounds that are being used are environmentally dangerous. We need to be monitoring them. We need to be testing them.
Okay, these previous guys, I watched exactly what they do, and yes, they are correct. I've seen exactly the same stuff, so ditto marks on those. You want some figures? Okay, latest water test, tested the rain. 13,100 micrograms per liter of aluminum in the rain in 2013. Normally, it should be 0.
I started my channel because I noticed chemtrails, and I simply started posting videos like this, asking people if they were seeing what I was seeing. I grew up next to an airport. I was very familiar with airplanes, and I was also familiar with the sky. And I couldn't understand why people were allowing this to happen, and they weren't noticing it whatsoever at all. And more than that, I was also wondering why all the testing was showing barium, strontium, and aluminum. Well, when you go to the periodic table of elements, you can see that B, A, and Al equal Baal. And that's a statue representation and a tablet of Baal himself, something these people have worshipped for a long, long time. But one of the biggest questions people always give me is, if they're spraying us with poison, how is it not affecting them? Well, one of my subscribers answered that, and here it is. Now, this is the topic that I've stayed away from, and for years, conspiracy theorists, as soon as you mention anything, they'll talk about reptilians and people living on the dark side of the moon and things of that nature. But here's the funny part, is the more you look into history, the more you discover that it's been carved in stone. Japan goes all the way back, and China goes all the way back to dragons and reptilians, and these people carve this in stones in such intricate manners that we can't replicate them today. You know what I'm saying? If way back in the old days they had the time and energy to literally carve something in stone, it was important.
Did you know Japan's royal family claims they descend from an ancient reptilian race for educational entertainment purposes only? Here's the proof. Japan's oldest texts openly record a bloodline linked to non-human reptilian beings. Japan's imperial line, the oldest monarchy on Earth, traces its ancestry to Toyota Mahaim, daughter of Ryujin, the Dragon King who lived in a vast undersea palace. The Kojoki, a text containing Japan's imperial family's official divine genealogy, and the Nihon Shoki, a text including heavenly descent of the imperial ancestors, describe him as a shape-shifting reptilian being who could appear human when needed. And the imperial family even has relics today that theorists claim were given to the royal family from this reptilian race. The mirror, said to be an ancient device used to communicate with deities, which could be similar to the obsidian scrying mirror that John Dee used to contact angelic beings. The sword, taken by the storm deity Susanoo, who defeated the 8-headed serpent Orochi, who was guarding it. Some say the sword is actually a plasma blade that uses ether technology, just like the sword of He-Man, and the Magatama, a jewel shaped like a reptilian eye found in prehistoric Jamon and Yayoi archaeological sites. That was, you guessed it, biology that turned into hardened geology. So it's actually the petrified eye of a dragon. For centuries, Japanese folklore has described an entire spectrum of reptilian beings, including the kappa, seen in Edo period scrolls, similar to water nymphs in Greek mythology. But here's where it gets stranger. Thousands of years before these myths were even written, the Jomon people made the Dogu figurines, wide-eyed, armored, reptilian shapes that look nothing like humans and appear across Japan for millennia. But Japan isn't alone. The Sumerian Apkallu, the African Dogons Nomu, the Hindu Nagas, ancient Chinese Dragon Kings, and Mesoamerica's Quetzalcoatl. Different continents, different cultures, same exact pattern. So what if these weren't myths? What if an ancient reptilian civilization survived or resurfaced after a global cataclysm and restarted humanity by interbreeding with them? Japan has the oldest reptilian artifacts and a current living reptilian bloodline. This makes Japan ground zero for understanding when these beings existed. If the same beings shaped Japan, Sumer, Africa, India, China, and the Americas, then humanity may be living on the ruins of a forgotten reptilian age that at one time, as all of these cultures claim, reptilian beings interbred with humans and gave birth to a divine royal bloodline just like Japan. Sound familiar?
Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but let me tell you something. Look around right now. How often does the government or authority figures simply and totally and 100% lie to your face about everything? Seriously.
All the time.
History is a lie agreed upon by the victors. Now, mythology, the more you spend time, energy, and effort looking into it, you'll discover that they've all been carved in stone. It takes a long time to carve something like this, but carve them, they did, on every continent throughout history, and apparently we've been lied to in what they consider gods are gods, but they're lowercase g gods. They're mentioned quite extensively in the Bible, the book of Enoch, and the book of Jasher. These things were very, very real, and a long time ago I said I believed they were spraying the atmosphere to terraform it for entities that were unlike us, that didn't thrive on beautiful sunlight from a nice yellow sun, blue skies, trees, plants, things like that. I always thought that they were terraforming the place, but I never quite put my finger on it until one of my subscribers went to AI. I didn't ask them to, but they did. And this is the answer that they got about reptiles. It's a very strange thing. Barium, strontium, aluminum. Think about it. One of my subscribers sent this, and he said, can reptiles handle metallic elements and compounds better than mammals? Yes. Studies suggest that some reptiles, particularly certain lizard species, can tolerate extraordinary high levels of metallic elements like lead that would be lethal to mammals and birds. Reptiles are highly effective at bioaccumulating heavy metals from their environment, often to a greater extent than the mammals or birds, but they do not necessarily experience the same acute toxic effects. Isn't that queer? Because I've been saying that without knowing that for a fact for many, many years, and here we are. And the funny thing is they're not only poisoning the air that you have no choice but to breathe because it's the only air that we have, but they successfully poisoned all the water. They've added fluoride, which is literally byproduct of aluminum, of machining aluminum, etc. But it's not natural. And they decided to pour it in our water and tell people that it was good for your teeth. And for years, people considered that a ridiculous conspiracy theory. Yeah, guess what? It isn't. And they also poisoned the food. They poisoned the food so much so that other countries find a great deal of enjoyment making fun of our food, like this, for instance.
God, Caucasian food is uncomparable to what Americans eat. When I was in America, I ate some shit my stomach couldn't even fathom. I was in the bathroom cooking out for hours. This mutated CIA-injected spyware food did not do me good. You know what? You can call Khachapuri cheese boat, man. I don't care. As long as you get to enjoy some good food instead of crumble cookies and Popeyes. There are so many weird chemicals used in daily food, such as bread, cake, meat in America that are just banned in other countries. Here, man, we have Khachapuri, Ali, Tolma, Swadi. Europeans have some good food too, like schnitzel is amazing. All Italian foods are goated, Greek food is goated, but Italians were not counted as Caucasians when they first moved to America.
It's sad that other countries completely know what's going on in the United States. The ridiculous ideologies, the furries, the LGBTQ never-ending alphabet spiral that we were in. The fact that we have the dumbest people out of all the other countries, that's not by... We have the highest college debt, but we have the dumbest people. We have the highest medication of people and the unhealthiest population. It's all by design. And people seem to, I don't know, they just don't want to deal with the truth. They'd rather get home and watch television, watching people grocery shopping, like literally watching shows about grocery shopping or cooking or remodeling your house or things of that effect. Things you're never actually going to do. It's crazy. Meanwhile, they're spraying the skies right over us. And there's another reason for spraying the skies. I know the reptilian one was a stretch. I never wanted to get into it ever, but I had to point it out because history doesn't lie. Our government does.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
But spraying the sky, I've explained this a long time ago, what spraying the sky was going to be very helpful for. Comet 3I Atlas. Believe it or not, we've never been to the moon, which is why we never go to the moon. We're never going to Mars because we can't go to Mars. They're spraying the sky because they're going to do a thing called Project Bluebeam. And they've been telling us about it in movies and television shows for years. And it's a very, very real project. So let's go back to a video I made about 8 years ago where I laid all this out and showed all the patents behind it so you can understand why it is they're using barium, strontium, and aluminum specifically. So I did this video in 2017 and I was talking about terraforming the sky. A few years before 2017, I had Anthony Patch on and we did a talk show type thing back and forth. And we were discussing terraforming the sky. The only issue is that Anthony thought the Earth was the same shape that NASA said, and I thought the Earth was the same shape that the Bible said. But what you're looking at is an actual old hologram that they did at a baseball field. Now look at this. This is 100% real. This is prior to AI. This hologram cast a shadow. It showed up on television. It showed up on the Jumbotron. Everybody in the field could see it. This was completely real. If you didn't know that this was a hologram, you would have thought it was real because it was actually doing what appeared to be damage. You could hear its wings flapping, the whole 9 yards. And that's when I decided to really start looking into this because I'm thinking, if they can do this back then, imagine the technology that they're not showing us. Well, think about that all now. Think about the technology that they have now. But what I wanted to know is, if you were to try to do a hologram in the sky, if you wanted to use the sky as a movie screen, what elements would you have to spray into it? And I found my answer.
Shout out to Rocky for the $5 super sticker. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Answers. Here's scientific paper at pubmed.gov. Photorefractive holographic recording in strontium, barium, niobate fibers. We describe what our knowledge to the blah, 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 blah. A plane wave reference and image-carrying optic beam are incident upon the fiber. Long story short, this goes back to 1988. Strontium, barium, holographic recording. Get out of here, will you? Here's another one. OSA. Multiplex holography in strontium, barium, niobate with applied field. Do you see what I'm saying? 1992, Optical Society of America. These people have been working on this for decades. This one goes back to, I think, 1988. 1997. So it's 1988, 1992, and 1997. Superior real-time holographic storage properties in doped potassium, sodium, strontium, barium, niobate crystals. So you take this, and this, and this, and this, and then things like this at a baseball game for entertainment. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. Like I said, I always bring the receipts, and I did back in 2017. And again, if they were using this in 2017, imagine what they had that people didn't know about. Well, that was 9 years ago, right? 9 years ago? 8 years ago, whatever. It was a while ago. And we didn't realize just how openly, blatantly, and completely corrupt our government was. And our government isn't even a government anymore. It's run by Blackstone, Palantir, all the other big corporate companies that we don't even know about. And they're getting ready to do something because they want to put us all on a digital ID in a digital credit, social credit system, period. And like I've said before, and I'll say it again, people like you and I, we're not going to be involved in their reindeer games. We're already out. And people need to start thinking accordingly. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if they could do this in front of an entire baseball field and make it look real, because that's all real. That's not CGI. This is an old video that I pulled up on one of my archives. This is completely legit. Imagine when they do it at night. You've got a bunch of YouTubers that are chasing around lights in the sky. You know what the easiest thing for them to do? Lights in the sky. You can't identify it, period, so forth and so on. Wait till they start pulling out entities that have been living in deep underground military bases for years. Wait till they start pulling out the weapons and the holograms at the same time where you can't understand what's real and what's not. because some will be holograms and some will be technology we've never seen before actually doing damage to the earth and people, I'm assuming. They've spent the last 50 years breaking up churches. You got to get churches out because when people are in churches, there's brotherhood, there's community. They've gone through neighborhoods and destroyed neighbors. People don't even know their neighbors anymore. They've done everything that they possibly can, and now they're coming to put you on a digital ID, a digital dollar, and a social credit system, and they're going to know every single solitary thing about everything you do at all times. I'll tell you what, I ain't living in a world like that, and you shouldn't either. And if you take that digital ID, that is the mark of the beast. At any rate, Richie from Boston. And I'm out.
Yeah, shout out to Richie, man. That was a good show. All right, debate coming up in 3 minutes. I'll be heading on over there. I'll share the StreamYard link. Let me see. I wonder if there's some people there now.
But whatever. I'll deal with it. I have to.
You can just be like a seagull and move down here in the winter.
I mean, if you're inviting me, don't threaten me with a good time.
That would be epic to do 6 months and 6 months.
Always having warm weather would be nice.
Yes. OTW, hello.
Hello.
Sounding crystal clear. All right. We are good to go. 2 minutes.
I'm good. Greetings. Hello, Red Rhetoric.
Zip.
Let me tap. There we go. Let's remove that. Perfect. No. Ow. Getting it on. All right, launching. Ow!
Welcome to Yerba Mate Talks.
All right, shout out to Tarek for his $5 super chat. Yeah.
Welcome! I am Max. This is Sky. And today we have the bass. On the stream. Red and OTW. How are you doing, gentlemen?
How about you guys?
Doing awesome.
Doing
Right?
well, doing well.
That's good. All right. So we're having a flat Earth versus globe debate today, and who would like to start?
Well, you could always flip a coin or throw a dice.
I don't have a coin right here with me.
You got a cat that's attacking you.
Yes, that happens. Happens a lot here. Yes, he's now biting my leg. Ah! All right. Why don't we do this? Reds, as a friend of the house, you will start first. I'll give you 5 minutes. Let me know if you have to share screen while I fight with this demon.
Yeah, no problem. My opening will be very, very quick. Yeah, basically the purpose of this conversation is going to be to basically go over your take on the flat Earth, because I believe that no matter what you believe about the flat Earth, it all equals the same thing, that it's a model that does not comport with reality. And I want to see how you square that circle. And of course, I'm willing to demonstrate that at the very least, the globe model comports with reality. So yeah, that's basically where I would like this to go. We'll see what happens. That's about it.
All right. OTW, I'll give you 1 minute extra because I forgot to run the timer. I'll start it whenever you start speaking.
All right.
5 minutes for your opening statement.
I'm ready. Well, see, I'm going to start by saying I'm not here to defend said flat Earth. I'm more or less here to debunk the validity of the globe, right? And I would actually challenge my opponent here to prove like a spinning globe and other seemingly details that are very weakly explained from my perspective. And I do believe that, you know, I mean, defending some sort of model that, you know, isn't the claim necessarily. Flat earthers don't make the claim that the earth is flat. It's a deduction that is made based on the lies that has been propagated throughout history, religion, science, cosmology, you name it, the list goes on, right? So so I guess this would be my position that I am taking here today, is that you know, I would like for my opponent to prove to me how the earth spins and how centrifugal force does not apply to a spinning globe going 1,000 miles an hour. So I yield. Thank you.
All right. Let me reset the timer for the discussion. We can do 1 hour, right? And all right. There we go. You feel free to talk. I'll if it gets to disorder, I'll jump in, but I'll let you guys chat.
All right, cool. So if I understand this correctly, OTW, you're not willing to adopt any burden whatsoever for this conversation?
I'm not here, like I said, the claim is the globe, not the flat earth. So you prove a globe and show me a functional model that works, that we could demonstrate and actually see physically. My argument stems from physical reality based in things that we can actually experience and see for ourselves, not based off of some sort of fantasy or fairy tale, or something that's completely based off of faith alone, which I do believe the globe pretty much propagates as a standing model.
Cool, but I can't help but notice that you didn't answer my question, so I'll ask one more time. Or am I hearing this correctly, that you are not willing to adopt any burden whatsoever for this conversation? You want the burden to be placed squarely on me, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, then this wouldn't be a debate. This would be me just lecturing you about how things actually work. So are you here to have a debate, or are you here to be lectured as to how things actually work?
I don't think that you're going to actually be able to lecture me. And if you do start doing so, I will find all of this discrepancies or incongruencies or even nuances in your so-called lecture.
Cool. So what I'm hearing here is that since you don't want to adopt any burden for the flat Earth, it seems to me that you are of the impression that the flat Earth is very flimsy if you're not willing to defend it. Would that be a fair statement to make?
I do not. Yes, it would be a fair statement because I don't necessarily go with the flat Earth model. I do believe that both models are full of shit. Sorry, my language.
That's okay. You can cuss here.
So I have more of a standing when it comes to toroidal field, electromagnetism, more along those lines, right? So it's like, from my opinion, we live on a plane, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we live on a flat Earth. It's more or less like a plane of inertia.
So if it's a plane but not flat, you don't see that as an inherent contradiction of terms?
I do. Hence why I think the term flat Earth is kind of like overused, or how can you say that? It's I'm French, so there are some English terms that I might not be familiar with. It's I guess it's just a stupid term, right?
I mean, I would say it's pretty descriptive. If you're saying that the world in which we live in is a plane would be synonymous with flat, would it not?
Not necessarily. When we're speaking of a plane of existence, doesn't necessarily mean that that plane of existence is a flat plane. It could have mountains, it can have sea levels, and it's a plane of existence.
All right, so let me rephrase the question then. Do you believe that the Earth is flat with topography?
I don't believe in set narrative that has been placed upon the masses and indoctrinated with false history and false numbers. Hence the 1,000 miles per hour spinning globe, which was one of the first things that I wanted to rebut. So I necessarily do not believe in a globe Earth. I believe that is an absolute lie. And maybe the flat Earth is like a second model that people would, refer to. But I don't necessarily resonate with the model itself. I do find that there are problems with that model. But if you look at things from a torus field dynamic, things actually kind of add up a lot more. How the sun travels in the sky, how everything works in nature. Everything is based off of an electromagnetic field. You can see it recurring over and over again in nature, and it's shown through the Fibonacci sequence. So, I mean, like I said, a lot of these things I'm able to demonstrate when it comes to reality and how we experience it as human beings, and not base my faith in things off of someone's theories. Like I could even give you an example, gravity, which is also a theory, has not ever been proven as a fact and is still dangling there in the void. And people have some sort of, faith in that particular theory, which is not even, based in reality.
Okay, so if I were to ask you what is the shape of the Earth, what would you tell me?
It's in the shape of a torus field.
So a donut?
Okay, I guess you could say it that way.
So the Earth is in the shape of a donut.
Right. I actually have pictures that I could bring up.
That is a new one. I will admit, you caught me off guard with that one. I've never heard anyone say that the Earth is in
right, because flat earthers will never talk about the torus field and how it functions and how electromagnetism works and how this whole realm is based off of that. And even scientists have corroborated what I'm saying right now.
Cool. So donut Earth, can I ask for any supporting evidence for that whatsoever, or do you?
Before I do so, I'm not going to actually, comment. The whole question here was you telling me how the Earth spins. I want to know how you know that the Earth spins and how that works. and that it's supposed to be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. So if you would like at least acknowledge my my position here, because you haven't done that yet. So since I've gotten here and I've asked you right at the beginning of my opening statement, please tell me how the Earth spins. This is my argument. This is what I'm presenting as my position in this debate.
Okay, I don't think you actually have a position that you are willing to defend. You even said at the very beginning you don't want to adopt any burden. At least that's what I took from.
Because my rebuttal is the globe. I believe the globe Earth is a lie. Just as much as you think the flat Earth is a lie or a psyop, I would contend and throw that right back at you.
All right, so if I am understanding this correct, you, again, based on what you just said, want the burden to be completely on me, which wouldn't necessarily make this a debate. It would make this a lecture.
Well, not if I'm able to rebuttal and prove you wrong, then it still is a debate.
All right, but let's make sure that we understand something. I'm more than happy to make this completely lopsided and giving you that huge boost, because quite frankly, I'm not worried about it whatsoever. I think by you wanting to shed any and all responsibility to defend a flat Earth.
But by saying that, now you've repeated yourself for the fourth time. I think I do understand English, right? And I do understand what you're saying. By repeating yourself like for the fourth time right now, you're just playing on semantics. Now, obviously, you don't agree with the fact that I'm not placing any burden on myself when it comes to defending a model that I don't believe in. But I am placing the burden on you to prove a model that I also think that is a big lie. I would like for you to prove the model, because the globe is the claim, sir, not flat Earth. Like I said before, flat Earth, it was a logical deduction made off of discovering all of the lies that have been fed to us throughout the years when it comes to science, space, cosmology, religion. There are many different realms added to this, you know. I mean, and it's not that very complicated to understand, sir. Is the globe, if the globe is spinning, how is it spinning, and how can we not account for the centrifugal force of a spinning object?
All right, so you just said it yourself. You said it was a deduction based on all these things. Well, sir, I hate to inform you of this. Actually, that's a lie. I love to inform you of this. That is a positive claim. So we finally, after all this time, established something where you will have a burden here. So if you're not willing to adopt that burden, I'll give you a chance to shed it right here, right now, but you have to do it in a particular way. So to be clear, you want to say, you know what? I do not wish to adopt this burden because I believe I am incapable of adopting this burden. If you say that explicitly, we'll put the burden completely on me. The next move is yours.
Well, like I said, I don't have a model to present. You do. So please present me your model, and I'll see if, I find any holes in your model.
Was there some vibrator going on in the background?
That wasn't a vibrator. It was actually my weed grinder.
Okay. This would have been a different show if it wasn't. Anyway, so if you don't have a model to defend, then we'll just move on by just for the sake of argument saying that, okay, I don't have a model that I'm willing to defend. Personally, I find that to be kind of chicken shit, but whatever. I'm more than happy to play this game. What's your question in regards to the shape?
It's not in regards to the shape. Now I've repeated myself over and over again. I'm the French guy, I guess. I'm wondering if you actually understand what I'm saying here. How does the globe spin, and how does the speed of 1,000 mile an hour spinning object account for centrifugal force and or supposed theory of gravity? Now, explain all of this, because this is the seemingly the only area that no one is actually able to explain, in layman's terms, even. Like, the Earth is spinning because it's on an axis and a degree of 23 degree axis, and it's spinning on a stick. Please explain to me how the Earth is spinning, why it's spinning, And how come we don't feel the G forces when it comes to the centrifugal force pushing off of a spinning object?
If let's read the top right here. Red's Rhetoric versus OTW, globe versus flat Earth. So the shape is the topic of discussion.
And isn't the spinning globe not the in question
OTW,
here?
Hang on. So here's the thing. If I have a water bottle, which I do, and I'm moving it, my water bottle is in the shape of a water bottle, but it's moving. I know you can't see it, but I'm holding a tennis ball right now. And if I shake it, this ball is moving. So it seems to me that motion is a separate subject from the shape of the object that is in motion. So
if you can't even prove the motion
with that distinction clearly made, I would like to stick to the shape first. We'll get to the motion later. First, stick with the shape because that's literally the subject of tonight's debate.
I disagree, and I reject your model of the globe because of the fact that you can't prove that it's spinning.
Again, all right, if I have a ball and I put it on the table, is it moving relative to the table?
It's moving relative to your perspective of how you see it moving.
Is it moving relative to the table? It's literally just sitting there, yes or no?
Based off of the observer and the angle that's being observed.
Is it moving relative to the table?
Well, I guess it is if it's on the table,
If it's on the table, is it sitting still on the table?
Well, what is this? Some kind of trick question? What are you trying to get at here? How about getting directly to the point?
Be more straightforward, my guy. You're trying to get at something that, quite frankly, is obvious here. Is the ball moving relative to the table if it's literally just sitting there?
It's not moving. It's just sitting there.
You just said it yourself. Great. That's all you had to say. All right, next question. Has it stopped being a ball?
No.
Okay, good. Then it looks like motion is again irrelevant from the shape. So if you wish to go to the shape, I'm more than happy, or go to the motion, I should say, I'm more than happy to do that. But you're going to have to accept that it's a globe first.
No, I'm sorry. That's impossible. And I understand
Excellent.
why
Then
you're
that
the
means we can
arbiter.
start with the
Wait.
statement.
You're going to explain to me how come you're the arbiter of this debate and you're going to decide where we're going to go first. We're not going to debate the shape. We are going to debate that motion that you're speaking of.
That's a globe.
No, I do not. I refuse that, and I
that.
reject your premise completely.
Hey, Max, can I ask you a question? What is the title of tonight's debate? You're muted. You're muted, my guy.
If you can't prove that your globe is spinning, then the globe is a lie. So their shape is irrelevant at that point. I'm sorry, man. Those are facts. And if you can't get around that, my friend, then you've lost this debate.
Yeah. Okay. As the moderator here, the debate is about the shape.
So if you don't want to debate the shape, which was literally the title of this discussion,
I am debating the shape. I'm telling you, your globe model is a lie. I'm telling you, it's not a globe.
Tell me, what is your question regarding the shape? Go.
How does your shape spin 1,000 miles an hour? There's my question.
That's motion. Try again.
No, it's the question. You're going to answer it, or if you're considering obfuscating and moving the goalposts and not trying to, you're completely avoiding. You're completing. You're completely avoiding.
You can forfeit.
This is what I'm asking you to do because you're not able. You're not able to answer my question, and I've only asked you one question since I've been here. And it's, how can a spinning ball that you call a globe spin? And how can we not feel the centrifugal forces attached to a spinning ball at 1,000 miles an hour? If you can convince me and lecture me on how a globe spins in the middle of space on an axis, on a stick flying in the middle of nowhere, maybe I'll be convinced, but if you can't explain to me how this earth that we live on spins, then your model is full of shit. You have nothing to substantiate a spinning ball. You have nothing. You understand?
Cool.
This is why I know the globers and the globies and all of this particular realm of debate is a complete farce because neither one of these two sides are able to explain the model. And
So
you're not
when it
on
comes
top.
down
No,
to
you're gonna
it-
let me finish. On top of which, the model
Actually,
that
I
you
won't.
can
So when
explain.
it comes to the actual conversation, you were given a clear and definitive title, which was globe versus flat Earth.
Right.
It seems to me.
So
that you're
I'm
not
here to
willing
tell you
talk
that
about
your
the
globe is a
versus
lie.
flat
Please
Earth.
defend
It
your
actually
globe.
Seems to me like you're too much of a
You're
chicken
trying
shit
to put me in a
actually
position to
debate and
defend the
bring forth
flat
a
Earth
model
when I'm
that can go
actually here
against
doing the same
globe.
thing to
You
you
wanna talk
and
about
telling you
the
that you
motion
need to
without
prove to
talking
me
about
a
the
globe.
shape.
I
I'm
want
more
you
than
to
happy to
prove.
talk about the shape.
You're gonna have to
But
prove
you
to me
gotta
a
get
globe
past it,
before
dude.
I even move forward with this. You're gonna answer the
okay.
question.
In a debate, this is OTW. In a debate, in general, both are positive claims. Saying the Earth is a globe is a positive claim. Saying the Earth is flat is another positive claim. You both have to give evidence for your position. There's no getting around that. It's not, oh, you have to defend your model to me. Both have positive claims.
All right, so let him.
Correct. So I guess I'll answer it like this. I'm willing to defend and present evidence for the globe model, that is the Earth being a sphere. Are you willing to present evidence and defend the model of the Earth being flat? If the answer is no, then you can take the L and then we can move on to something
Well, the answer
else.
is yes. I am able to actually present evidence that would prove that we're living on a plane of existence. If you want to call it flat, fine.
Because plane would be synonymous with flat. Okay.
No, plane is not synonymous with flat. That's another. You should look it up in a dictionary.
Let's try it like this. Why does the angular size of the sun remain constant throughout the day if the Earth is flat?
Why are we talking about the sun when we're supposed to be talking about the shape of the Earth?
Because if we were to model it over a flat Earth, there's consequences to that. Do you understand that?
I do understand that, but not by telling me
Cool.
how objects run around in the sky is going to tell me how I feel and experience of the flat plane of existence that I live on.
I was actually talking about the angular size of the sun. I'll just get right onto it. So
you're
if
going to
you
come
were
up
to
with
model-
your sticks and shadows, right? This is going to be your
No,
argument.
not
This
even.
is-
Not
yeah,
even.
That's the funniest shit
I
I ever heard.
Ahead of me, and you already fucked up. So let me just get what I got to say, and maybe then you won't misrepresent me so many times. So on a flat Earth, it makes a particular prediction. Let's say flat earthers like to make all sorts of wild claims about the altitude for the sun. I don't know what you think it is, but it honestly doesn't matter. Some say 5,000 kilometers, some say 10,000 kilometers. Doesn't really matter. The point is that if you were to model the sun moving over the flat Earth and then looking at it from an observer on the Earth's surface, what you would see is that the angular size of the sun would change throughout the day, depending on where you are. Like, for example, where I would be located in Florida, it would change by a factor of 2, meaning that if we were to go out and look at the sun all day long and we don't see a change, then what that means is that the flat Earth model made a prediction, but that prediction turned out to not be the case. But yet, if we were to model the globe reality, it actually works out perfectly. It doesn't predict that the sun would change in angular
of course,
size. It says that wouldn't.
it would work out perfectly with your sticks and shadows. I get that, but the sun also travels upwards and downwards, and not only does it do that, it travels in an arc in the sky. And there's multiple different ways of explaining how the sun functions. But this is not the debate. The debate is so-called the shape of the Earth, not what the sun is dancing and doing up in the sky. We don't give a fuck about what the sun's doing. The sun is keeping us alive. It's what's giving us vitamin C, vitamin D. It's what's giving life to plants in this world. It has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. So keep looking up in the sky to find out what the shape of the Earth is.
Actually, it does, because believe it or not, what you observe and how you observe above your head can tell you a lot about what is under your feet. And if you are suggesting otherwise, that means you're not as educated on the subject as you think you are. There are consequences to living on a flat earth.
And I can throw that right back at you by saying you haven't been able to explain why the earth spins 1,000 miles an hour and how come we're not feeling the centrifugal force. No, you're not going to tell me to shush, man. You're going to explain yourself, because now you're trying to you're playing the gotcha games, and the gotcha games aren't going to work with me, buddy. You're playing on semantics. You're playing on semantics. The sun in the sky is irrelevant to this conversation.
That can happen again. All right. We can do, if you want, if you prefer, we can do a time section where each of you gets to ask questions and the other person has to respond.
Yeah,
But,
can I finish my statement, because I realized that the middle of my statement interrupted the beginning of his?
Sure.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, cool. Now that we got that, there you go. There you go. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, there are consequences to living on a flat earth. The angular size of the sun is affected by that consequence. You thinking otherwise means that you are not as educated on the subject.
See, this is where I rebuke that. I want to rebuke that, because the premise that you're using is fucking shadows and sticks.
Hold on. Let him finish the point, OTW, and then you can reply, and we'll keep him muted then.
All right, we're gonna get okay. Good. There you go. There you go.
Come on, get to the point, Reds.
So moving on. There are consequences to living on a flat earth. The angular size of the sun is affected by those consequences. So, if you are saying that the angular size of the sun has absolutely nothing to do with the shape of the earth, then you are not as well read up on this subject as you think you are. So, to demonstrate that, Max, I would like to screen share, please. So, what we have here is a flat model with a sun that's going over it. So this is a observer in Florida. This would be where my latitude is. Here is an equatorial telescope mount working its magic. So what we see here is that there's two angles of axial tilt, and in reality, only one is actually supposed to be moving. That's problem number one.
No, it doesn't change. It all depends on the atmosphere.
There you go.
It's going to be all long-winded with this. Dude, you're literally trying to feed me the same bullshit that Jaron was trying to tell me.
There you go. Anyway, here's the second part, is that if we were to plot this out, again, from my location in Florida, watch the screen right here. This is representing the viewfinder of a camera. Notice how the angular size of the sun changes throughout the day. So you have two problems: the equatorial telescope mount, which is how you observe above your head, and the angular size of the sun, which is what you observe above your head, having a direct impact on the shape of the earth, the ground that you are standing on.
But what you're saying there also happens on a torus field plane. It also happens on a torus field plane, not a flat earth the way you guys have established the model, because the way you're doing this, you're basing this off of a flat disk, which is not what we live on.
Okay.
All right, good. There you go.
You're basing your whole shtick on assumptions. These are assumptions. These are not facts, sir.
All right, good. There you go. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted again, so given the two models, that means that you have to acknowledge something very fundamental here, which is that what you observe and how you observe above your head has a lot to do with the shape of the earth that is below your feet. Now that I finally finished, now you may respond.
Like I said, you're trying to feed me the same crap that Jaron was trying to feed me with your sticks and shadows and the angle of the sun. The angle of the sun is also based on the height that it has in the sky, and it's never the same over the year. Okay, and on top of which, what you're explaining there also works in a torus field plane realm that we live in. So anything that you can throw at me when it comes to your globe model mathematics is the same for a torus field. Now, what I want you to explain to me, now that I've answered that question, please explain to me how this spinning ball functions. How is it spinning 1,000 miles an hour in space, in a vacuum, where we supposedly have a burning sun heating up the Earth from 93 million miles away? You know, I mean, come on. You know, just to believe in this shit, you literally have to believe in Santa Claus, right? Because this is all faith-based semantics that you're trying to push onto me, which is not going to work because I have actually critical thinking, sir. I can use my brain to observe things in reality and notice that what I actually perceive in reality is not really what's being explained when it comes to cosmology and space, all right? And the shape of the Earth. Nothing fits. Your arguments are weak. You have nothing to substantiate what you're saying. None of it is relevant to this particular debate. It's just a bunch of nonsense and numbers to try and detract from the actual real question here is, how come you can't explain your model, and how come you cannot even reproduce the model in real life? When the model that I'm proposing, the torus field, is something that actually represents itself over and over again in nature, all over the Earth, in many different patterns, which is also correlated to the Fibonacci sequence. So I'm actually substantiating what I'm saying with actual science. You know what I'm saying? Not fairy tales that have been invented by philosophers that observe the sky with a telescope and then made speculations and all kinds of theories about it, and then had fed that to the masses and have people believing that it's true because they watch Star Trek.
Are we going to get some evidence for?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I have that.
You sound very preachy, almost like a
debate is not about how I sound. The debate is not about how I sound. The debate is about proving your model.
Okay,
I am asking you to do that, sir. I don't understand why I have to go first. I asked you the first. It was in my opening statement. I actually challenged you first. Please go ahead.
You didn't actually answer my original evidence.
1 second. As we said, you both have a positive claim here. You both have the burden of proof on your respective models.
Exactly.
There's no getting around that.
So let me go over what I presented. I presented an actual 3D representation of what we would expect to see on a flat Earth. Then I presented an actual representation of what we would expect to see given the angular size of the sun. I then demonstrated how we don't see that in reality. Your rebuttal to that was toroidal field.
Hey, look,
show me in any way, shape, or form two things. I want to know two things for you. One, how do you know that this toroidal field bullshit even exists? Something beyond numerology, thank you very much. And secondly, given that you can demonstrate, how do you know it functions in the way that you are speculating?
I'm going to explain that right now, okay? The flat Earth position, all right, from from my perspective, okay, is a dipole field, okay, can't produce a stable quadrupole interference patterns unless there is an overlapping field structure, okay? So, in other words, the globe model assumes that there's one field source inside one world, okay? My model assumes that there are two toroidal systems stacked vertically, okay? And the second system field interacts with ours, okay? You detect its influence, but not its domain, okay?
Is that it? Do I need to explain how that literally didn't answer anything?
Well, I think it did, man. It's like I've been trying to tell you guys that we live in a toroidal field and we live on a plane of existence.
Yeah, that's an assertion that requires evidence. So where's your evidence?
Well, the evidence, it's irrefutable evidence, from physics perspective, multiple interference always implies multiple field contributors, The mainstream admits that the dipole is not aligned and not centered, which only makes sense if there is another structure below. So the South Atlantic anomaly looks exactly like an interference node.
Okay, so you're basing this off of pattern recognition?
No, I'm basing this off of electromagnetism.
Okay, but you said it looks like something, so that would be pattern recognition by definition, right?
It looks like an interference node, but it's not a flaw. The rapid pole drifts, and fits and coupled torus models, not spinning an iron core.
And how does the torus, whatever the fuck, impact the angular size of the sun to make it make sense?
That because the sun is not a moving object in the sky that you think is spinning in space going around the world. It's actually a focal point projected from the middle of the vortex onto the atmosphere or inside the atmosphere and traveling, following an H shape, which is also another another. Hold on, let me bring that up. I actually have a picture of that.
Can't fucking wait.
Hold on a second.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, this sounds like colossal word salad. I may need some ranch.
You might need to freshen up on your physics, my friend. That's why.
I mean, I can pull random bullshit out of my ass too.
No, it's not random bullshit. I have shit to show. Look, I'm gonna. Oops.
Worse, make myself sound more photosynthesis as well.
Look, I have pictures here. I'm going to show them to you. Let me share the screen. Hold on a second. Share screen. There we go.
This kind of reminds me of spirit science, honestly.
Okay, there it is. See, when the sun travels in the sky and does an H shape during the year, right? So it goes up and down from the horizon. All right. So this is exactly how a torus field functions. A torus field works just like a beating heart or lungs. Like lungs. Like you breathe in, your lungs go up, and you breathe out, your lungs go down. And essentially, our body is literally a torus field. Okay. And what I'm trying to explain to you guys is what's on the micro level is also at the macro level. So you see this recurring everywhere in nature. You see it in our bodies. You see our lungs is in the shape of a torus field, and then you also see it in like a fruit, like an apple. An apple is literally the shape of a torus field, and the seed is at the center of the apple. So what I'm saying is that I reject the model of the globe because I don't believe that the sun is out in space spinning somewhere at 93 million miles away. I believe that it's inside our atmosphere and it's traveling through a projection coming from the vortex between the two toroidal field, the two torus fields that are essentially doing the vesica Pisces, right? I don't know if you know what that term is, but it's what they use like on my shirt. Hold on a second. I'll show you my shirt. Like they put the truth out in plain sight. So let me just take off my virtual background here.
Like Illuminati shit right now.
It's not Illuminati shit. It's
they put the truth in plain sight just to tell you what's going on.
Look, my shirt here, Under Armour, right? Look. That is literally a torus field right there, and the plane of inertia is right in the middle there. That's where we live.
Or get this, and now you might be shocked to hear this, but maybe the top hoop is a U, but when the bottom loop goes over, kind of makes an A, which makes Under Armour as initials. Do you see the logo that's on my screen? Those are 2 R's. And you may not realize that, but it just means Red's Rhetoric. That logo just means Under Armour.
That's
asserting
false.
that there
That's
is
false.
this extra.
That's false.
You're
because
asserting that there's
this
this
sign,
extra meaning,
my
but you
logo,
don't have
my
any
logo,
evidence for
my
that
logo
extra
is an
meaning
example
actually
of
being
what
a
I'm
thing.
talking about when
So
it comes
I'm
to
going ask
symbolism.
you one more
Don't
time.
you
What
recognize
is your
the
evidence
symbol here?
that the meanings are actually there? What is your evidence for this toroidal field bullshit? Because you just asserting it exists.
My evidence
not
is
evidence for
nature.
its
My
existence.
evidence is nature and how things grow and produce on this planet. And when
Okay,
you
so
look at an
can
apple grow,
can I
it,
use that same shit?
I'm
Can I
not
use that
talking
same
shit.
shit and get away with it? If you ask me,
I'm
hey,
using
how does the
observable
Earth
things
spin?
that we see in reality. I'm not using
If
fiction. I am not using science fiction to establish my point here. I'm using tangible things that we can see in reality.
Stop.
No, you fucking wouldn't. You wouldn't accept that. If I
No,
just
because
said,
I'm not going to
the
accept
Earth
fairy
spins
tales.
because
I'm not going to
nature-
let you feed me
Earth
a
spins
bunch
because
of
nature. You're not gonna
indoctrinated
accept
bullshit to
You're not
try
gonna
and convince
accept
me
that.
of a bunch of
So you have
lies
different
that you
standards.
believe in.
Okay.
You have
And
a different
you-
standard.
you're-
and
no,
it's inconsistent as
Oh
No.
my God. Both need to chill a bit. Calm down. I think what Red is trying to say now is that if he would make a claim that because he has a shirt with a globe, that you would not accept that claim, why would you accept you making that type of claim?
I was pointing out that these symbolisms are things that they put
I'm
out
sorry.
in the subconscious mind.
Stop. I asked you a direct question. As the moderator, what he's trying to convey to you is that if he made that argument, you would be all over that. Why do you have a different standard?
I don't have an answer for that, man.
Well, that's actually honest, because if you asked me, hey, why does the Earth spin? And I said, because nature, you wouldn't accept that as an answer.
But actually,
So why am I
what you've been
expected to
presenting
accept
to
your
me
shit?
the whole time is basically a T-shirt with a globe on it and tell me, hey, believe it, that's true. That's what you're saying.
No, I actually had diagrams and math that you
Come
couldn't
on,
debunk.
you're showing me a CGI fucking map of it's like there's nothing there. You can't.
Oh,
You
there's
have
nothing there
nothing to
because you say so?
demonstrate physically in reality something that actually can prove your model. I can tell you that my model is based off of the model of an apple. This is what I'm saying. Not this fucking shirt. I'm talking about the apple. Who gives
Cool.
a
Have
shit
you
about that?
actually gone
I'm just
outside?
saying that the system puts the truth out there in symbolism, in movies, in TV shows, and they freaking feed it to you, to your subconscious mind, so your subconscious mind doesn't fill in the
Subconscious mind.
holes. That's the whole thing about it.
Do you know
and
of
you
a guy by
think
the
that
name of
what you
Russian
think you've learned and what you know is the truth when it's not. It's just a bunch
Do
of
you- do you know
fools
of a guy by the name
wrote
of
shit
Russian
in a
Viz?
book and you believe that shit instead of
Do you know
believing
of a guy named
what you
Russian Viz?
see and what you feel and what you understand and what you
I'm going to keep asking
what you
this question
perceive.
to you answer. Do you know of a guy named Russian Vids?
No, I don't.
Okay, he was a guy that believed in all this numerology bullshit too. I was able to use numerology to prove that not only did he have a sexual relationship with O.J. Simpson, but he was the bottom bitch, just using numerology thing. I hate to tell you this, but you can make numerology say whatever the fuck
I'm
you
not
want
talking
because
about
it is
numerology. Where the fuck
meaningless.
did you pull that out of what hat?
Hey, OTW,
Which
if you shut
hat
the
did you-
fuck up, you might actually learn where I'm going with this. So,
She's telling me to shut the fuck up when the only thing you're
feeding
feeding me is a bunch of nonsense.
Hey, Max, moderate him, please. So
Yeah, go ahead
you
and
were
moderate
bringing-
me,
you were
Max,
bringing
because
up- you were bringing up
you'd rather
symbolism.
censor me than actually listen to some fucking.
You were bringing up symbolism.
Of course, of course, of
What I would
course.
rather is
Of
see
course.
actual evidence for the positions. I think we're arguing about pointless stuff, and both could do improving on this right now. Just share your best evidence for your position.
Cool.
All right.
Given the fact that you're bringing up symbolism and I'm bringing up evidence, I would like to show some to you.
That was
Max.
not evidence.
Thank you.
That was not evidence. That was a load of crap.
Hold on.
I reject your evidence.
Hold on.
Yeah, and
I would
No,
because
wait. The evidence, it's what he's going to show you right now. Preemptively dismissing the evidence is not a good look for you. So let him
Yeah,
put
it
it
shows
out.
that you're
and then
incredibly
can-
dishonest. So let's
go-
go ahead
just
and
go,
go for
Renz.
it. So this was in reality the Nikon P1000, the flat earther camera choice. This is a solar filter which cuts out all the glare. I recorded the sun. Let me play it here. I recorded the sun. Here you can see the clock. This is a time lapse, blah, blah, blah. The mount follows the sun all the way throughout the day. It did not change in angular size. That's strike against the flat earth there. I'll fast forward ahead just so that you can see. Still the same size. Still the same size. Still the same size, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. That's point number one. Point number two was the equatorial telescope mount. The equatorial telescope mount requires that there be a curve. I will show you the globe prediction. Here you can see the line of sight. Let's look at the equatorial telescope mount and how it moves. So there it is, tracking an object in the sky. Here's one axis. Notice how it's not moving, which is what happens in reality. And notice how the other axis is moving, which does happen in reality. So that's a mark against the flat earth and a mark for the globe. Then we also have the Tampa Bay blink test, which is something that I already did as well. The blink test was the video that I did.
What
where
you're
I
showing is
measured-
also possible on toroidal field
You
plane
gotta
of
shut
existence.
the fuck up before I actually, get
You're
to
you're
everything.
long-winded, man.
So-
and this
Oh, and
I've
you the
been
fuck
through
aren't?
this
Look
before.
who's talking, asshole.
Let's continue
Hypocrite,
on
thy
with
name
the-
is
the
OTW.
Let's continue with the discussion. Come on.
Thank you. We could get through this a lot faster if you don't just interrupt me constantly. So anyway, so what I did was I measured or I observed, I should say, the curve of the Earth. So here I was at the top of the Skyway Bridge looking at Tampa. So let me show you this right here. So what I did was I marked the top of the towers and the horizon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blink to the other image I took when I was closer. Oh, look, I could not see any of this shit when I was taking this image from the top of the north side of the Skyway Bridge. And if we go back to the map, it gets even worse because this is MacDill Air Force Base. You can't even see that shit. It's below the horizon, the curvature of the Earth, which is something that is predicted. Those are just three things right there. Do you have anything to suggest that this does not bode strongly for the globe and against the flat Earth?
I can easily rebuke that and say that we can easily show with a P900 us zooming back into over the horizon. Yeah, well,
you can
yeah, that's because you muted me, right? That's easily debunked. You can easily see anything that drops over the horizon or under the horizon, whatever you want to say it. You can zoom back in with a P900 Nikon, and it'll drop right back into focus, as clear as you've seen it with your own eyes. So, and that's for miles, okay? That's and first of all, the human eyesight, if we base that off of the numbers that they gave us in your globe model, our human eyesight doesn't go beyond 3.6 kilometers or 3.6 miles, right? So all of your perspective is based off of the arc of the horizon. So you cannot see past the horizon because that's how far your sight goes. You understand?
And what
you need to
evidence do you have
zoom
for
back
that
in with a
limitation?
Nikon P100, 1900. You can zoom back in.
That was the camera I was using for the Tampa Bay blink test. So you just shot yourself in the foot there. That was the exact camera I was using for the Tampa Bay blink test. This is the same video. See, I'll even skim around. Here was my camera, the Nikon P1000, the camera that you told me to use. I used it, and it doesn't back up your shit. Do you want to change your statement?
No, I don't. I have something here that I can present to prove to you you're wrong.
And by the way,
that could have
evidence do you have
hold on a second. That is not evidence. That is also could also be very easily staged. It's nothing that's there's
staged.
Yeah, this could be
You
obviously
can go to the
staged,
Skyway Bridge yourself.
edited out. There's nothing here that you can prove to me
There's
that this
the
is all.
Skyway Bridge, so you can see where
Right.
I was. Go there yourself. There's the location in decimal degrees. Go there yourself and debunk me, and I will bet you $1,000 that you'll see the exact same thing that I did. You want to take me up on that bet?
Hold on a second. I got my.
I will fly your ass down myself. I will fly your ass down myself. We will use the Nikon P1000. You can bring your own Nikon P1000, and we'll see if what I recorded matches what we would see in real life with you actually there.
All right.
Do not make the claim that I was lying about anything unless you're willing to put
I'm
money on
going to
that
prove
shit.
you wrong here. Hold on a second. Share screen. All right. Here's my video. Hold on a second. My computer is a tad slow right now. Have a
Mute the audio.
Yeah, hold on a second.
No one can hear you. Mute the audio.
You hear me now?
Just for future reference, whenever you're screen sharing, just mute the audio. Yeah, but if the video has sound, it drowns you out.
Right. So this is actually let me see. I think you have to hear. Okay, that's wrong. Hold on a second here. Now this is being zoomed out from this distance, right? From, as you can see right here, it's a zoom in, like right at the beginning, right? That you do not see with the naked eye on the side of the beach where the people are actually all right. But all of a sudden when you zoom in, like he's doing right now, it's not a mirage. You can actually see that there's no curvature there and that you can see the people in the distance. All right? And a few hours later in the afternoon, so explain to me, if there's curvature, these people should have been under the horizon or over the horizon, out of our sight.
What was the height of the observer in the distance?
It's not written in the footage. So I can't
we have
explain
absolutely
that.
nothing to go on.
Well,
Okay.
pretty much the same thing as you.
No, I can actually tell you exactly how high I was and exactly the distance to towers. The towers were 24 miles away, and I was exactly 3 feet over the water. Can you provide me with that same level of detail, please? Because I think you're forgetting that I actually filmed this fucking thing myself. I'm guessing that you didn't film this, and you're just taking it from someplace.
No, this is an observation from 2025. It was saved footage that was sent to me. It was the second last observation of the 2025 season after.
Matt, can you, or Max, sorry, can you share my screen real quick? Thank you. So I took this image with my cell phone. This was on the date of the observation. You can see the rocks of the shoreline, and you can see like I'm really, really low to the water here. I wasn't any more than like 3 feet, 4 feet, maybe over the water. So this gives you enough context to work with. But in addition to that, I also show a map view of how far I was to the target. So I can supply you with this information. But if you can't do the same in return, then I am perfectly justified in rejecting this footage. Sure, it's very, very sexy with people enjoying their time out in the sun, as they should, but it doesn't do anything else for me.
Right, but this is based on your perspective, man. You know, this is like...
No, this is based on observation. You could repeat this yourself.
The opinions you hold don't substantiate the truth, man. Okay? You have to agree with that because it doesn't prove that we live on a globe.
I'm sorry, but it's not an opinion. He's presenting you evidence with the details, the location, exactly. You can actually go there and repeat this yourself.
Right, but
because
it's
what I
still
did-
not telling me how the Earth spins. Like, I mean, we're going
What-
off
what I
on
did
all kinds
here-
of different tangents. You're showing me footage. You're showing me CGI videos. You're showing me a bunch of numbers.
Nothing
you're
I
giving me all
showed
kinds
you,
of.
nothing I showed you from actual reality with CGI. Again, what I'm doing is that I give you the location, my exact pinpoint location, down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking decimal places. So you can go there yourself and repeat the observation. And no amount of zoom will ever bring the full view of the towers into frame. No amount of zoom. Now you may be asking yourself, how can I make that claim? How can I make that claim? Well, I'll show you how I can make this claim. I'm going to leave this video and I'm going to go to one of my shorts. This is my view of the International Space Station. And this is because I filmed it with a Celestron CPC 800 Edge HD telescope. So I have an 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope that has 14 meters of focal length when compared to the P1000's 3 meters of equivalent focal length, which means this thing can punch in even further than the P1000, and I still couldn't bring those fucking towers back. So if more zoom's magically supposed to fix the problem, I'm sorry, it doesn't, and I'm willing to demonstrate that in person if you think I'm lying.
No, I just think that there's missing some equations in this particular argument here.
Which equation? The what?
There are
perspective?
factors that are not being taken into consideration here.
Like what?
The sea level, the height of where you're at. It all depends. We have mountains, plains, lands that fucking go lower than other lands. You know, and it's this is what I don't understand. It's like you're showing me, you're trying to prove to me that, oh, we can't see this thing. Yeah, but I can do the same and tell you that I could just go up here on the Covey Hill and I could see a city that's 50 miles away, all of the buildings. How do you explain that?
Can you show that?
Well, no, because I don't live on that Covey Hill there, but there's a mansion there, which I actually watch through a round, big glass window at the top of the stairs, and you can literally see Montreal from there.
Hey, Max, can you show the screen real quick? Because I didn't show it before.
With your own eyes, you didn't even need to zoom in on it.
Someone called me out in the live chat, and I want to thank them. I didn't show the telescope to prove they actually had it. Well, there you go. And again, here you can see down here, my channel, my telescope, my shit. So there's a whole bunch of things that I want to say here, but I'm just going to stick with this one thing. You said zoom fixes the problem. I have something that has way more focal length than a P1000 ever could in its wildest wet dreams. But that does not solve the problem. But if you're saying zoom does solve the problem, how much more zoom do I need than a fucking Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope with an 8-inch aperture?
Dude, if you were below the sea level, then maybe you had a chance.
I was over it. I wasn't drowning.
It doesn't mean that because you're below sea level that you're drowning. The water doesn't necessarily mean it reaches that point.
Below sea level because I was Tampa Bay connects to the Gulf of Mexico, which connects to the rest of the fucking oceans. Okay, so no, that doesn't work.
Like I said before, that still doesn't prove a spinning globe. It just doesn't.
It proves the shape of, or hang on, let me rephrase that.
You're trying to say that it proves curvature, which I think is a dumb argument. It's a dumb argument. You're bringing things to the table that are irrelevant because I want to know how come we don't feel the effects of centrifugal force when an Earth is supposed to be spinning 1,000 miles an hour. When anything that you experience in reality that spins 1,000 miles an hour, everything is compelled to move outwards, right? Just like a spinning mop that I have in my kitchen. You know, I put the mop in the bucket, and then I put it in this little thing that spins. I press the pedal, and it spins. All the water that's coming off of that spinning mop is going outwards back into the bucket. So if we're on a spinning globe going 1,000 miles an hour, how can the water stay on there? Well, how does that make any fucking sense?
All right, OTW, we're actually going to tackle this directly because clearly you have nothing against the shape. So let's go with the motion. You mentioned the spin. Would you
I've been
agree
fucking
that
beating it into
Would
you since I
agree
started
that,
this debate.
Tabletop observers. Let's say we had a record that was on a tabletop and it was spinning. Do equations exist where I could figure out the force at the very edge of that record that's spinning? Do equations exist where I could figure that out?
Probably.
Let's just say yes.
The same
Okay,
equations that tell you that we're on a spinning ball.
So if I mean, you can laugh before I get to the punchline. The joke is not as funny until you get to the punchline, dude.
Yeah.
So a record spins on the table. There exists a set of equations in which I can figure out what the force would be at the very edge of the disc. I'm glad we agree with that. Okay, good. So here's my next question.
But imagine that the disc is actually flat.
Yes or no
it's
will
funny
do.
you use a flat disc
yes
as an
or
example.
No will do.
It's funny
yes
that
or
no,
will
I'm
do.
not going to do a yes or no. It's funny that you
so
use a flat
have
disc
you
for an
anything
example
other than
and not a
definitive
ball.
yes will be taken
Why are
as
you
a no?
using a flat disc
So,
as an example
have
and
you
not a
done
ball?
the math for how much
Oh my
force
God.
would need to be there on the equator? Have you done the math?
For for what you're saying in your equation,
That's
it needs
no.
a
Okay,
flat
good.
topical.
So, given that you haven't done the
topographical
math,
plane.
we'll do it together.
The math
Given
only
that you
works
haven't
on
done
an
the math, we'll
the
do it
math only
together.
works on a flat plane.
That's fine. Now I'm just going to need you to calm your tits, put some ice cubes on the nips. Ice cubes, nips. Ice cubes, nips. Let me get through all of this before you respond.
Right. The disc is measurable, so that's why it's a globe.
Let me get through all of this.
Great stuff, dude.
before
Great
you
stuff,
respond.
man.
So
That's not
if
what
we
he's
were
saying.
to calculate, he
He
the force
used
that's
the
on
final
this right-
disc as a reference. Come on.
Hold on. Yes, he used it's an analogy. It's to
Well, why don't you use a basketball for an analogy when you're referring to the globe? You're literally using
whatever you choose
centrifugal
as an
force
analogy.
and based off of a flat disc.
Whatever. It's an analogy.
Your argument is really weak,
The point
brother.
is OTW, because apparently
Your
you missed
argument
it.
is so
You can
weak, man.
calculate centrifugal force. Good. With that firmly established, let's go through the math and see what we would expect to see given the equations that we objectively can reference. So you don't have to go through all the math, but there it is on the screen in case you want to pause and check it out. But we have a force by gravitation, 678.6 newtons. All right?
By gravitation,
Leave that
based
alone.
on a theory. Based on a theory. So
Hang
you
on.
want me to believe in fairy tales?
I will not.
OTW, you asked him for the math. He's giving you the math. You need to let him get out.
Wait, he's basing
you
his
asked for
math
this
off of a
specifically.
theory, Max.
Yes, you can't ask
him
for something
finish.
then immediately interrupt me while I'm giving you the fucking answer that you're asking for. Shut the fuck up.
It's
if you're
fake
asking me a
math.
question.
You're fucking basing this off of a theory.
Shut the fuck up and
That-
actually listen
hold
to
on,
the
Rex,
answer
Rex.
of.
This is not the gotcha that you think it is. Well, a scientific theory, you're thinking of the word hypothetical. That gets confused.
No.
Parlance and
Gravity, sir, is a theory. And I know what
Yes,
theory
and
means.
What I'm telling you is that you mean hypothesis because theory doesn't have the meaning that you think it does. Gravity is a
I am
scientific
not saying
theory.
hypothesis. I
Hey,
am
let's-
saying theory, and that's
Max,
what
can we just
gravity
bump him
is.
to the back room real quick so I can actually get through this without interruption.
Look, it's a scientific theory. You're thinking of the word theory in the common parlance in everyday talk. That's not what this is. It's not the gotcha that you think that it is. All right.
So OTW.
Continue with just go through the math, please.
Yeah, but if he interrupts me again, that just indicates that he's scared to find the answer.
Dude,
to
I
his
am
own
not
fucking question.
scared. You're just
then shut the
feeding
fuck up
me a
and
bunch of
listen.
bullshit.
Then shut the fuck up and listen if you're not scared. You don't want to hear
Go
the
ahead.
truth?
Go ahead. No,
Then
this isn't
shut
the
fuck
truth.
up.
You're trying to
Then
feed me
shut
more
the fuck
lies.
up. Then shut the fuck up and listen.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Why don't you
as
have
I
your
was
mod
saying-
mute me up there?
Hey. So, as
I've
I
been
was
muting
saying,
both of you. So can we continue, please?
as I was saying before he rudely interrupted me for the 20th fucking time.
Just go on.
Here we have the math here, okay? The math gives us a particular figure. That figure is 678.6 newtons. All right, let's go to the second part of the equation, figuring out centrifugal force. Okay, let's go ahead and do that math. Again, it's on the screen if you want to check it out, but it's 2.35 newtons, meaning the difference between the North Pole, where you wouldn't be expecting much of anything, and the equator at 1,000 miles an hour, the scary numbers would be a difference in your weight of 0.346%. Let me repeat that. 0.
And I call bullshit on your math.
Which means, motherfucker, that you would only experience a difference in your weight of 0.346, which means gravity's still winning this battle, bitch.
I'm sorry, but the force of a centrifugal effect, okay, no way in hell can gravity compensate for the force that something spinning 1,000 miles an hour.
Cool. You got math for that?
Dude, it's physically observable. Any object that you have spinning on any freaking axis, my friend, if you anything you put on there, whether it be a tire or anything, it will literally explode.
You got math for that?
What do you mean? You don't need math. All you have to do is to go to a fucking roller coaster ride and get into that fucking thing that spins around and it pushes you up against the wall. And it's not going 1,000 miles an hour, sir.
Just fuck the numbers, fuck math, fuck actually.
No, yeah, exactly. Fuck your indoctrination and your bullshit and your fucking Einstein fucking actor algebra that you have. How about we relate things to our physical experience and what we're actually going through here on this planet?
Okay.
No, why are you telling me to okay? How come when it's my turn?
Because I'm the moderator. I get to do that. When you're both yelling and rambling incoherently, I get to stop you, both of you. Been doing it the whole thing. So,
so you get to interrupt me and stop me and pause me in my tracks so you can let your friend here try to run a train wreck on me.
I've been muting both of you. But to repeat it again, I've been.
I only see you muting me, buddy.
I own. You're both muted right there. So I have vinyl decks. You see those? Those are real. I DJ, and the disc do not explode. So, do you have when you say that gravity cannot be stronger than the centrifugal force? Do you have any way to demonstrate that?
Yes, gravity is a theory. You're basing your whole system off a fictional, invented word.
That's not what a scientific theory
Instead of basing things in reality, like centrifugal force and what we would call density and air pressure. None of these things have been taken into account. No. And on top of which, the math that you guys just showed me was based on a flat disk.
Show it.
You just showed me the math. I don't have to show you the math. You just presented it. And that math is based off of a flat disk because no spinning ball, you can never measure that on a spinning.
I explained to you that he made an analogy. We moved past the analogy and he showed you the math applied to the Earth, sir.
No, it didn't apply to the Earth.
You can undo that.
I reject. Yes, you can undo that math because I can reject the math because I believe it's not math. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of numbers. It's numerology.
Got a calculator and check it yourself?
No. It's a numer. Yeah, you need a calculator, buddy. I don't need nothing. I don't even have any script behind me. All I can do is base everything off of my heart.
No math, no ruler, no nothing. Just
don't need that. All I need is exactly. I go with my personal,
go with your gut,
observable experience that I have on this realm in this plane, and I can obviously see and feel as a human that we are not spinning or receiving any type of centrifugal force or any sort of gravity whatsoever.
Notice he bases all of this off of a warm and cuddly feeling he has in his ass.
It has nothing to do with the warm and cuddly feeling I have up my ass, sir. I don't base my fucking knowledge off. I base it off of my personal experience, not off of fucking books that other people wrote, and not off a bunch of fucking lies and a bunch of freaking indoctrinated information that you people fed yourselves with, and now believe that like
and with that
you believe that like it's a fucking religion.
And with that, this debate is over. All
Yep.
right, we have some questions from the audience. Yes. Okay. Icy Spin for 199 says chirp. Yes, thank you so much. Jim Daniels gifted 20 Sherba Mate Talks memberships. Let's freaking go. Icy Spin for $2. Why did you show up to a gunfight with a paper towel? I think that's rhetorical. Jim Daniels.
It's funny he says
15
that.
degrees per hour. I'm sorry?
He said it's funny he said that when your buddy here never was able to explain how centrifugal force accounts for the gravity.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You probably missed it.
You can, because gravity is a theory. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, if you
Great.
think that's a rebuttal.
Everything you guys fed me here today is based off of Star Trek, a science fiction.
I didn't bring up Star Trek. You did.
It's one of those delays.
Yeah, you guys are probably all Star Wars, Star Trek fans, and you believe in all that stuff. It's real. We could go to other planets. We probably visited Mars.
All right.
Right? We probably visited Mars, Max, right? We went to Mars.
I think you can't control yourself.
We've been to the moon too, right?
I'm sorry. You claim to be a Christian, right? I need you to pray to the Holy Spirit for some patience.
I never claimed to be a Christian. Who the hell said I was a Christian?
Oh, yeah, but you believe in God. Well, pray for some patience.
I don't pray, sir. I don't pray, sir.
Okay.
I don't need to do that.
All right.
That's another fiction that you were
All right.
indoctrinated
All
into
right.
believing. All right.
Sure. All right.
You know what? I can speak like you too.
Of course they had to go to that. Okay. Icy Spin, do you even live, bro? We got curbs. Shake that ass. Love that. Thank you so much. Stills 666 for £2. All he has to do is learn. Kango 44 for $5 New Zealand dollars gives us a link. Give me.
I can't believe this guy is
Kango,
getting
can
a
you
ton of
reshare
super
that?
chats,
Because it
man.
went by
What the
on
fuck
the
is my
list,
chat
and
doing?
I'll
He's got like
check that
20
out,
super
see
chats.
if
I got
it
2
can
super
spark
chats,
any more
man. I
discussion.
fucking
Icy Spin, does your model have curves? If not, get the fuck out. Thank you so much, Icy Spin. Basil sorry, for $5. OTW, what is the centripetal force of an object of mass M at radius R rotating with
right,
angular
Newton,
velocity
the
of
dummy
omega?
that had an
What's the
apple that
formula?
fallen
How
off
do
his
you
head and
apply
then
for
called
a
that
person
gravity
at
like a
the
dumb
equator
fucking
in the
stupid
globe model?
retard.
Ooh, I love that. I love that question. OTW, what is that equation?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Could you run that by me again?
What is the centripetal force of an object of mass m at radius r rotating with an angular velocity of omega? What's the formula? How do you apply for a person at the equator in the globe model? So basically asking you to steel man the claim from the globe.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not familiar with that equation.
All right.
Max, if I may.
Yes. You may.
M equals little m times r times the product of 4 pi, or not the product, the solution to 4 pi to the second over t to the second. So again, F equals little m times r times 4 pi to the second over t to the second. There you go.
All right. Thank you so much. Jim Daniels for $2. Sounds like a claim. Evidence, please. Thank you so much for that. Icy Spin for $5. OTW, a model has measurements that can make predictions. What size is flat Earth and what predictions has it ever made? Ever. Thank you so much, Icy Spin.
I have no answer for these types of questions because I do understand that they're based off of some sort of fictional reality that you guys have concocted for yourself.
Yeah. So what happens here is that they're asking you to steel man the opposing position.
Actually, Max, if I may, what's being asked here is, do you have anything that you can reference that makes accurate and reliable predictions?
No, I'm not a savant, right? I don't make predictions, dude.
Okay, but you don't have anything.
I don't believe in fairy tales, so I don't try to predict the future or predict things in advance or try to make calculations that probably in an ever changing realm. Because first of all, the continents keep moving You know, nothing ever
Okay,
stays the same in this place. So
let me-
you're
let me
trying to
play a
substantiate
different
your
way
arguments
then.
with measurements that don't even stay the same over time.
Okay, I have a triangle. Two of the interior angles are 60 and 60. Can I make a prediction based on math of what the last angle is?
No, you can make a calculation based off of the math that you're using, not a fucking prediction. You know, this isn't playing with semantics on words.
Interesting.
And
so,
trying to
so you can make a
me
calculation, but not a prediction. You want to stick with that?
Yeah, you calculate.
Okay, good.
And you
so
end up with a
being that
result
you can make
after you
predictions
finish
based on
calculating.
calculations. You just shot yourself in the fucking foot, you dumbass.
I'm sorry, sir.
And I even gave you a chance to
I'm
walk
French,
it back.
so maybe in my mind, prediction means that you're trying to predict something.
I even gave you a chance to walk it back, and you didn't take the
Before you
opportunity.
even made the equation.
Right, but there are some things that we can actually predict, right? So if we're talking, for example, a triangle, and we have two of the angles, and we don't have the third one, would you agree that we can actually predict what the third angle of that triangle would be, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
It's called trigonometry.
So with any model, whether it's globe, whether it's flat, whether it's a fucking tetrahedron, whatever the fuck you want to use, you can use those models to make certain predictions. For example, what we discussed earlier in this stream is that the flat earth made a prediction in regards to the angular size. That was one of the first things I brought up. I wanted to bring that up to show that the flat earth made a prediction that turned out to not be the case when we went out and actually looked at the sun. That's why he's asking you that question.
Right, but that's why I don't argue the movements of the sun in the sky, because I think it's irrelevant to the shape of the earth.
But I just showed you how it isn't irrelevant.
I believe it is, because like I said, it's a focal point. It's a reflection. It's not a solid object in the middle of
what?
Space 93 million miles. You're telling me that your math gives that this particular sun is, I don't know how many thousands times the size of the earth, and that it's spinning in the middle of space. It's a burning fireball, and it's
not a fireball.
Yeah, it's a plasma ball, whatever, induced with electricity. So and
I'm trying to,
God knows how the
seems
fuck that works,
he's
right?
asking you, how do you know? I'm trying to steal his claim. He's asking you, how do you know the distance to the sun?
I am so glad you asked.
Well,
May I share my screen?
How about observing it and observing the rays coming out of the clouds?
Okay,
right?
So
you can
what
observe
I did,
the rays of the sun.
what I did was very simple.
Not
is
shadows
that we
on a
made
stick.
a few
You can look at
observations.
the rays of the sun.
OTW, hold on. You asked him a question. Now you need to be patient for the answer, because you asked him, how does he know the distance to the sun, correct?
Correct.
Good. So
okay,
with
give
with
him a
that being
second now.
With that being said, so what we did was we made a few observations. Using the North Celestial Pole, we were able to do some calculations and figure out the actual size of the Earth, which gave us a radius of 3,967 miles. That was point number one. Next was deriving Kepler's third law, which we didn't take for granted, but we found out what it was thanks to the equations. But then we wanted to go a step further. We wanted to test Kepler's third law in reality. So using our telescopes, we found two satellites at different distances from the Earth. We used Viasat 3 and we used Navstar 78, I believe. This is an actual representation, or not a representation, an actual image of our computer screen while we were making these calculations. We figured out the difference between the two telescopes. We figured out their orbital speed. And what do you know? It matched perfectly with Kepler's third law. Then what I did was I drove my happy ass, which you can see right here on Interstate 70 West in Kansas. I drove all the way to Colorado while Astronomy Live remained in Florida. We took simultaneous observations of the planet Mars. You see these spikes here? That's not a flaw. That was by design, because we had something in front of the aperture of our telescopes when we took these images. It was this thing right here. As you can see, it makes spikes. Why is this important? Because then we can use those spikes, we can trace them out like we did here. These spikes allow us to pinpoint where Mars is in the frame. Now with Mars in the frame, we can actually figure out the actual size of Mars using trigonometry, which you agreed works. So we were able to use trigonometry. We were able to describe it in a different way using just brute force math. which you can find right here in a book that was published over 100 fucking years ago. And then over here, we were able to verify it with our own math. But we didn't just use basic math. We even use an online calculator, or non-online calculator, a program calculator that you can get for free called GeoGebra Classic 5. This allowed us to make a scale model of the entire solar system in which we could use to make measurements. So let's go ahead and go over this final math together. Here we have the angular size of Mars at its furthest point at opposition. Here we have the angular size of Mars at its closest point during opposition. This gives us these two values for D1 and D2, and this is what we got. Let's go ahead and finalize everything thanks to Kepler's third law, which we were able to use to go forward. And at the end of the day, we got a R value, which is the distance to the sun, of 151,883,157.2 kilometers, or 94,375,818.47 miles, based on observations that you could do yourself with equipment that you can buy off of Amazon.com. Now, again, this is just a rough overview. The entire video is 42 minutes long. Go ahead and watch it and try to find a single flaw in the methodology. I guarantee you're going to fail. But that's how we measured the distance to the sun. And here's the last part. Given that now that we know the distance to the sun, we also know the angular size of the
Jimmy
sun.
Shively,
And
man,
since
for the
alpha
$50
equals 2 times the
super
arctan of G over 2R, where alpha is the angular size, the object, G is the actual
Fuck
size,
yeah.
the object, and R is the distance to the object, we can rearrange that equation to find G, which gives us the actual size of the sun, which is well over what you are saying it is, which is what, 3,000 miles wide or some shit like that? Anyway, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I speak for 250 down the only spot while regular stop get help. Thank you so much for that. This is from me. I every time she gets mentioned, I always shout out to Emma. She's the best. She was the best. She was everyone's favorite. Yes, you know her.
Yes, I
in
do.
high school. Yes. Willie 48 Zero Able for $10. Taurus Field. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Would you like to take a second to explain to us what you mean by Taurus Field?
Well, I mean, I've kind of like explained it already. I do have an image I can show you if you guys don't know what a torus field is. Hold on a second.
Someone spent $10 to ask the question, I guess.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
I'll show you. I don't have to tell you. Here, how about that? Hold on a second. Got to bring it up on screen. My computer's a tad slow. The internet out in the country isn't that fantastic. Image file.
Upgrade to Linux.
It's not compatible enough with all of the interfaces that I work with, so it's like it's gonna have to. Where the hell is
I live in the third world and I have kick-ass internet. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, you didn't hear? Canada's a third world country now, or maybe even fourth world country.
I live in an actual third world country. It's no freaking way.
All right, save image. For some reason, it wasn't saving. Save, for crying out loud.
Real Harold, desktop Linux sucks. Fight me. You watch your whore mouth.
All right. Share screen.
Linux Fedora for the win.
I mean, anything with a Fedora is an automatic win.
Exactly. Fedora is fucking awesome. I upgraded to Linux in spring of 1994.
All right. So there's the torus field. At the center, that's where we live. And you see the sun? That's how the sun travels in the torus field.
That's two torus fields.
Right. Exactly.
Why do you that means that there's 4 poles.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was explaining earlier, but you guys said that it was a bunch of word salads that you didn't understand what I was talking about.
But there is only 2 poles.
That's what the globe model says, but that's impossible because electromagnetic field cannot work under 2 polarities. It needs 4.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
You're
it does. I'm not
wrong.
wrong.
No, citation needed.
Hold on. Let me bring up the document here I have. Hold on a second.
Because you know that the problem with this is like if you think that we are in the plane between the 2 torus fields, that means that the sun would go under the earth.
Right.
How does that even make sense?
Well, it doesn't because, like I said before, it's a reflection from the center of the vortex.
What?
The vortex in the middle of the image there.
Where?
Oh, hold on a second. I'm multitasking here at
Well,
the same time.
Even if it was a reflection, the angular size would still change throughout the day
At the
based
top
on what
of
I'm seeing here.
At the top there, you see in the center of that vortex, that's where the negative sun projects its image onto the atmosphere.
Projects onto what?
The atmosphere in the sky. It's a focal point. Just like when you use a magnifying glass on ants when you were a kid. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but the ants are actually there for me to shine it onto. So what is the sun shining onto? Give me that image. There's got to be
It's
some sort of
shining onto
medium.
us.
So sunspots don't flip like
no, it's just
this
the focal
would.
point isn't aimed directly at you. It's just right in the sky in the middle, and it travels there following the heartbeat or the torus field. You know, the dual torus field.
The what? Did you say the heartbeat?
Yes. Earth is an
I've never
anagram
seen
for
the
heart.
sun beat.
Did you know that?
The sun doesn't beat though, so heartbeat. What?
And the
Are
earth?
you just saying words to say words at this point?
No,
Wait,
it's just because unfortunately
Wait, but do you think that the
we don't
ground
speak the
has
same
a
language, so I'm not able to express my ideas thoroughly.
But we are speaking the same language. Now,
no, you guys
I would just
speak
like
with
to
your
clarify
globe
what you
language.
said.
With your,
you said that
your,
the earth has a heart.
The earth
ground?
is a heart, or it acts like a heart. You know.
In
Okay,
what way?
let me try to understand this model here. Okay, so there's a sun, but is there more than one sun then?
I believe there might be multiple suns. Yes.
How many?
Okay, how many?
I can't tell you how many.
Okay, so if there are multiple suns, that means that people must at some point in time see 2 different suns, right?
All depending on well, no, actually that's not right because nobody's ever in the Antarctica. So you don't have people all
Wait,
around.
what?
Let's say, like for argument's sake, that there's an ice ring around here, okay, or whatever it is. You don't have people positioned in every single place where the sun does that particular 24-hour loop. But the light is projected
doesn't-
onto the sun on the complete
Wait, but why
outer
would
Arctic
it
circle.
Why would that matter?
Yeah, because we have other places that we could be, not Antarctica. If we want to like completely exclude Antarctica as being a location that you can go to, which by the way is complete horseshit, but whatever. Slice Barcane a few years ago actually did simultaneous observations of the sun from all over the planet, and you could see the sunspots were exactly the same.
Here,
so
I'm
if it
gonna
was a
prove to you
reflection, wouldn't the
that in
sunspots be
hold on
flipped?
a second. Let me prove to you. I have another little video here that actually can. Hold on a second. Give me a minute. Oh, God damn it.
The answer is yes, Astronomy Live. He did accuse Jaren of that.
Yeah, that was. You're saying that they didn't go to Antarctica?
No, I didn't say that at all.
Okay.
Because it seems to me like you would need multiple suns, but you would need also reflections of those multiple suns. But that would mean that the sunspots would be either mirror images of the sunspots at a different location. But we've never seen that with simultaneous observations. Because the whole point of a reflection is to mirror something by definition, which means the object would be flipped.
Yeah. Hence
yeah, but we
why
don't see that with the sunspots.
But that's ridiculous. Sunspots. Why would there be sunspots on a
Because there
planet
are.
that a sphere supposedly burning plasma and helium and
Because
all kinds of these different gases.
there are the sunspots are undeniable. They are actually there.
I know that. I've seen them
Hey,
myself. I
let me,
understand what you're saying, but it's
okay.
a completely
All
ridiculous
right, here's
thing.
here's the sun. Let's say
Like
for the
as
sake
if
of
in those
argument,
particular
hang
areas on the sun,
let's say
there's no
let's say
gas
for the
there
sake
and
of
there's none of
argument,
that
let's
activity
say
happening.
for the sake of argument that these sunspots are not made by whatever the fuck NASA's saying. Let's say these sunspots are made by magical unicorn farts. I don't care. The point is they exist. So if we were to look at
for 1 second.
if we were to look at a mirror image of this particular image of the sun that I took with a solar filter, and someone were to take the exact same image of the sun, but from their location, like let's say in, I don't know, Germany or whatever, they would not see these sunspots mirrored. You could overlay these two images one on top of each other,
Because the
and they would match
sunspots are
perfectly.
already a mirror reflection of the black sun in the middle of the vortex.
What? Now there's a black sun?
Yeah, it's a black hole. It's not a it's not some sort of light being projected off of the vortex.
If it's black and you can't see it, then how do you know it's there?
Well, it's the same thing with infrared light. If you can't see it, but it's there, dummy.
Yeah, but we can detect it.
Yeah, but you can't see it. You just come on, man. You're playing on
No,
words
we can
now.
detect it though. Can you
can't see
detect
it.
this black sun?
Well, you can't see it.
But can you detect it with any instrumentation whatsoever?
Obviously not, because it's not part
Obviously
of this.
not. Okay, so you have
it's not
no
part of
evidence that this black
atmosphere.
sun even exists.
It's outside the atmosphere.
So I take images of stuff that's outside the atmosphere all the time. I can see the International Space Station. It's outside the atmosphere.
Hold on a second. For some reason, I'm not finding my my video.
I mean, just because something is outside the atmosphere doesn't mean you can't see it. I can see stuff outside the atmosphere. For example, the space station. I showed a video of it on the stream. So if you can't detect this black sun in any way, shape, or form, then how do you know this black sun even exists?
You're asking me a bunch of questions. I'm actually preoccupied looking for something right now, so I'm not focusing on what you're saying.
Okay.
And for some reason, I can't find. Oh, here it is. I found it.
That hasn't changed through the entirety of the stream, but okay.
Well, I'm sorry for not being able to give you my attention fully for a few minutes there while you're asking me a bunch of questions. And I'm just looking for the video to show you and explain to you what a torus field is to start
No,
with.
it's fine. It's fine. The questions were probably too hard for you anyway. Don't worry about it.
Real funny. Don't insult my intelligence, buddy.
I did that within the first 5 minutes, bro. Where the fuck have you been?
Keep
Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah, watch it. You won't be able to walk through the door. Your head is so swollen. You know, in my opinion, if your brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose with.
Nice. Quick question. What's the weather like up your own ass?
It's very cold, extremely cold.
Can we stop? I'd rather have evidence.
I'm coming up with it right now. Okay.
Right. Let me see.
The plane of inertia.
While we wait, because you know,
a very
dead air
simple
is,
explanation here
not a good thing.
of what I'm talking about. It's a physical thing that you can actually see and reproduce with magnets.
Before you hit play, can you mute it and also make it full screen?
I'm not going to mute it. The explanation. If I mute it, you won't hear the explanation. That's so funny.
Oh, wait, you're going to play to a 12-minute video?
Oh, fuck that.
No, it's not that, it's pretty simple. It's not that hard to understand. You might get, if you guys have the brains that you say you have, you might catch this within like the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Right now, your shitty internet is saving us.
How many poles does magnet have?
2.
It has 2 poles, but there are more than 2 poles at work here. Listen.
He's showing 2 poles.
Just listen. There, it doesn't work that way. So if you'd listen.
Yeah.
Oh, because he said it.
But
it must be true.
Because even if you cut the magnet in half, the resulting magnets will still
Dude,
have
could
2
you just
poles,
listen to
because
the
magnets
video?
have 2
Can you
poles.
shut up and listen?
But
Hey,
this is not
look, man.
showing what you think
I'm being
you're
told to shut up
showing.
while people are presenting their information. I'm asking you both to shut the fuck up while we play this video.
And I'm telling you that this video is not showing what you think it's showing. This is showing 2 poles.
It's because you haven't listened
fact,
to
the
it
magnet
yet.
paper
You're
is showing
already
It's
jumping
showing-
the
you
gun.
have it on screen right there.
But here's an
You
explanation
have it
for
on
what
screen
you
right
see.
there. It's 2 poles. Yeah,
There's an
it's 2
explanation
poles.
for what
That's
you're
the
seeing.
explanation.
No, that's not the
Yeah, that
explanation,
it's 2
dummy.
poles.
Hey, am I debating rhetoric or am I debating you?
Now the debate is over. Just in case you are not keeping up. Which
Oh, okay, so now it's 2
We're
against
doing
1,
questions
and you're
from
not
the
going to let
audience
me
now.
play my video, right?
Where this is
Not for 12 minutes.
This is questions from
I
the
just
audience.
told you, let it
The
play for at
problem
least
is,
2-3 minutes, and you'll get what you want.
Yeah, but we have on screen. We have what your contention is, and that is that magnets have 2 poles. That's it.
The magnet paper literally shows that. Like literally showing that.
No matter how many drawings he makes on the little chalkboard, it doesn't make it not be 2 poles. There's 2 poles. Magnets have 2 poles.
Yep. Although he does have some sick tats.
Mine are better.
Of course, you're just not going to listen to what the fuck he's saying. You're just going to
No,
look at the top one.
dude, we've been telling you it's 2 poles. Whatever way you
You're
slice
still
it,
not
however
listening.
many
It's not 2 poles.
however many
there are 4
lines.
poles.
There are
there's
not
2.
The 4
there's
corners
2
of the earth. They're called the 4 poles.
Where did you get 4 corners from?
It's in the Bible.
The Bible? Yep, I thought so.
And you cried when I told you that you were a Christian, so why are we appealing to the Bible?
If you're appealing to the Bible, can I appeal to stuff without you getting upset? Probably not. Everything that I showed you was firsthand stuff that I did, and you're showing me other people's videos, stuff that you haven't done yourself.
So what?
All right.
What fucking difference is that supposed to make? Like, it removes
well,
any
it makes a
credibility.
couple of
like,
differences actually. It makes
Yeah,
a couple.
you removed all your credibility. I agree.
It makes a couple differences actually, because a lot of the main argument that I hear from people in many conspiracy spaces, not just flat earthers, is that they always want to say you're appealing to somebody else. You didn't do your own work and blah, blah, fucking blah. But every single link that I have shown you is of my own work. But
right, but I don't I'm not a flat earther to start with.
But
I
that
don't
was
do
exactly
work proving that the Earth is flat.
OTW. I said in other conspiracy spaces as well, not just flat
I'm here holding a
Earth.
position in a debate with you, but that's not my
I
shtick.
said it was more than flat Earth. I said it was more than flat Earth. I'm agreeing with you there.
I'm more
that
into
more than flat Earthers have said
esoteric-
this.
Right, but I'm not a flat earther.
I didn't say that you were in this context.
I'm just
I
holding
said
this
that other
position because I was
conspiracy
invited
theories,
to a debate and I accepted the debate, like I did with Jaron. And I even mentioned to
Other
Jaron
conspiracy-
right off the bat
other
that I wasn't
conspiracy
even a
theorists have
flat
said
Earth
the same
debater,
thing, though.
and that
You
I
haven't
didn't
done
even
your own
believe
work.
in the flat Earth model in the first place, because I don't believe it's a flat Earth disc or whatever they say it is. That it's a more of a toroidal field the whole diagram.
You're just
that I showed
saying
you
words. I don't actually think you know what that means. You're just saying
I
words.
just showed you what the fuck it means.
No,
Yeah,
you showed me a magnet with two poles and then put the word toroidal in there somewhere. That's all you accomplished
never
here
even
tonight.
took the time to listen to it. You know, you don't give a shit.
I bet you.
The
I
problem
bet
is that
you I could
we
predict
never
exactly
listened
what
to
we're
it.
saying.
You just looked at the guy make the drawings, but you weren't listening to
yeah,
what he was
and
saying.
no. We didn't look at the drawings. What we were looking at was the actual
magnet paper.
Right,
the
which
Pharaoh
was showing you
image.
a dual toroidal field.
No,
it was showing two poles.
It was showing
Just
you the
two.
plane of inertia.
Only two.
It wasn't showing you
And
the
two
poles.
poles.
It was showing you the toroidal field.
And two poles.
Don't-
One toroidal field.
He was
two
just
poles.
mentioning that magnets have two poles.
One toroidal
but when
field.
he put
two
the,
poles.
When he put
One
the film on the
toroidal
magnet,
field.
he showed you in
One
nature.
toroidal field. Two
Okay,
poles.
I had enough with this guy. Fucking
That's
muting
what
me.
he showed.
That's all he shows.
It's not up for discussion.
You're
That's what
so
he showed.
full
One
of
toroidal
shit.
field,
No,
two
you're
poles.
so full of shit, man, and
That's
disingenuous.
amazing. You can see
That's
this
what
on
we
video
call
that you yourself
intellectual
showed.
dishonesty, right there.
Yeah,
That's what we
yeah,
call
yeah.
that. Yeah, you're
Sure.
being so disingenuous
You
right
keep
now.
using that word. I
Sure,
don't think it means
yes.
what you think it means.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think
sure.
you know what any of the words that you spewed out here today means.
Right.
Oh,
Right,
name a
right.
single word that I said, and I'll give you the definition.
How about globe?
Name a single one.
How about globe? You don't fucking know because you've never seen it.
Oh, I've measured it. You want me to show you that video
Bullshit.
again?
You crossed the whole world and measured the planet? Fuck you.
Do you think we have to do that in order to measure it?
Keep believing in Jesus and fairy tales, motherfucker.
You
I don't
were the
believe in
one that appealed to the Bible. Oh
You're the
my
one bringing up
God.
the fucking Bible here, you hypocrite.
Oh my God.
You're the fairy tale believers. You probably fucking got
Yeah,
jabbed up
yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Didn't you?
Ah,
Right? You
you're-
probably
you're
took the
literally
vaccine like a fucking perfect slave that you are.
Literally losing the debate, bro. Calm the fuck down.
Yep. Max, can we
right?
Can we bring
So
it up here?
yeah, that's it. That's how disingenuous you are.
Look at that. All I had to do, and you can actually see it in the center of this equation, I only had to travel 3 miles to get a value that was within 2 kilometers of the actual value that is accepted. Within 2 kilometers, and all I had to do was drive 3 miles for that. I didn't need to traverse the entirety of the fucking planet, you jackass.
All right,
Holy fuck.
I don't think that your math is correct there, and I think that you're delusional. Buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Prove
but
it.
Can you
I don't
prove it?
need to prove
Can you
it.
do?
How about this? What if I make it worth your while?
That's
I am
called a
going
baseless
to.
claim. Like
I am
a
going
halfway
to.
dismissal.
No, I actually like this. I actually like this.
Okay.
So right here, Max, can you show it one more time? Right here in the very center of the screen is the actual equation that I used. If the math is wrong, I will pay you $10,000. Break out a calculator and do it right here, right in front of us.
What if your numbers are wrong? This is what I'm saying. You're spewing out a bunch of numbers that are
What
probably
if?
not even accurate.
What if?
No. That's actually a valid question. Let's answer that. How do we know that our numbers are correct?
Right.
So 3 miles. We measured 3 miles using one of those roller measuring devices that surveyors use. Are those accurate?
Trundle wheels.
Thank you. You've
Explain
seen
to
them
me how
before.
you
They're
measure
orange in
that
color.
over water.
We didn't do this over water.
Figures.
So, but you know those wheels, right? They're orange in color. You see like construction crews using them when they're trying to measure out a plot.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this value can be done in reality and has been done in reality. Now, what are these? These are telescopes. And look at that. There's this display on the side of the telescope that will give you actual degree ratings. Now, how do we know that these degree ratings are accurate? How do we know that they are giving us good values? Well, because we use this exact same system to do the following. The space station is predicted to be a certain degree up into the sky. And as you can see with this video, let me mute the audio. This is a tracking shot of the station. The telescope needs to be so precise to find the small dot in the sky. It needs to know exactly where it's pointing with pinpoint precision. And as you can see, it's capable of doing that job, meaning that the values that we're getting from these controllers are accurate, super, super accurate. So we
Because
have
it's based
this
on
value.
globe math. That's
Hang on,
why your machine is so accurate.
Hang on, we have this value. We have this value, which gives us this difference. We have this distance between the two observation points, which gives us this result.
That's not
That's
reality.
how we're able to have such confidence in our measurements because we literally did all of it.
That machine is still speculating based off of the math that it was fed, which is called globe
How is it
math.
speculating when it turned out to work? This is not speculation. This is results.
You can't prove that it worked because you can't actually go
Yes, I
around
can.
the
I can
world.
show you a video of it actually working. Look, this is a tracking shot. This is actively tracking. This is a moving picture of the space station traversing the sky. I can show you that's working right there. See the orientation change as it traverses the sky? Look at this truss structure. Notice it's more towards this way.
And what are those numbers supposed to tell us right now about that?
And
space
then
station?
what's doing, I'll explain this. What it's doing, these numbers, is that it's telling us a difference between 3 miles. So at one point, observation point 1, it recorded 27.07639. At observation point 2, it recorded 27.11972. There is a difference of 0.04333 degrees over 3 miles. That is the difference.
Yeah, but you traveled
So,
3 miles.
if
It
we-
would have obviously
if we-
changed
hang on,
position
hang
in the
on, hang on,
sky.
hang on,
You
hang on,
literally
hang on,
said that it was
hang on,
traveling
hang
in the
on,
sky.
hang
It
on,
probably
hang on.
changed position.
Okay.
Is
Hang
why
on,
you're getting
hang
a
on,
different number.
hang on,
OTW, hold on. That's
hold
not
on?
what's happening here. It is. The tracking
Anyway.
shot is in one place.
Anyway, so we did this on the same exact night with the same exact telescope, as in we set up the telescope in one location, took it 3 miles away, set it up all over again in a different location. So we got 27.07639. Over here, we got 27.11972, a difference of 0.04333.
Right, which is
gives
not
us-
accounting
which
for
gives-
the time
hang on,
traveled,
hang on, hang
the
on,
distance done.
hang on, which gives us a radius value of 3967 miles, which is within what, 2 kilometers of the accepted value for the radius of the Earth. That's not all, though. In the video about the equatorial telescope mount, we actually plot similar measurements on a flat Earth. And as you can see, let me zoom into the cross here, we get contradictory answers for where the North Celestial Pole is. So if we plot these exact same numbers on a flat Earth, giving it the most amount of charity, we get contradictory answers. But if
the
we
North
plot these
Celestial
exact same
Pole is
figures on a
fiction.
globe,
The
no
only actual
contradictions
pole
come
is
up.
the magnetic pole, not the celestial
There
pole.
are
All right?
there are 2 poles.
Celestial pole is a fiction.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
You can
it
actually
is.
see it.
Absolutely
It's
it
the
is.
point in which the stars rotate.
What are you talking about? You're talking about Polaris that doesn't move in the sky.
No,
right?
I'm not talking about Polaris. Polaris is actually not directly at the North Celestial Pole. It's close. It's really, really close, but it's not actually there. The North Celestial Pole is the point in which the stars rotate. And believe it or not, Polaris actually does rotate around it slightly. It's not a lot, but it's not directly there. So
And, I live in the south. I have another celestial pole, a
Yeah,
totally
totally
different,
different
one
one.
with different stars.
So if we were to plot these exact same figures on a flat Earth, we get multiple locations, multiple spots in which the stars rotate. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's over here for some fucking reason. Basically, it has to be in multiple spots
on
at the exact
observer.
same
It's
time.
based on the observer.
That is a contradiction.
It's not
It
a
can't be in
contradiction
multiple
because
spaces-
it could be
multiple
possible
spaces.
based on the point of observation. You're just trying to debunk it when you're actually giving it more credibility.
So showing a direct contradiction is giving it credibility.
Yes, sir, because on a flat plane, it would all depend on the person's perspective and not the position in which it is in the sky.
Dude, we're measuring it from the person's perspective. You just shot yourself in the foot. Would you like to backtrack?
I don't understand why you say I'm shooting myself in the foot when you look at the sky
Because
from
you said,
those different angles.
you said
you'll
you
see
have
the
to,
Earth spin,
you have to
the
measure
sky
it
spinning
from the
from
person's
different perspectives.
Yeah,
And-
you
and-
have to
and
measure
on
it from the
top of
person's
which,
perspective.
On top of which, you did not account for the
Which
distance.
is exactly what we did.
You did
These
not account
telescopes
for
are
the
from
distance
the
that you
person's
traveled
perspective.
from one place to another, having that satellite in the sky,
wasn't a
moving
satellite.
and traveling, whatever it is, space station, whatever you call it. It's probably a blue beam.
The North
fucking
Celestial Pole.
projection. It's a
No, it's the
holographic
North
image.
Celestial Pole is what we were looking at.
No, you showed me an image of the space station.
That wasn't relevant to this measurement. That was only relevant to show you
So
that
what are these
that the equipment is
particular
accurate.
instruments pointing at?
The North Celestial Pole. That's what
Thank
he
you
told.
for clarifying. I was
Let me
confused.
try
Okay.
to. Let me
Okay,
try.
hang on.
to-
No,
I thought you were talking about the
let me get
space
this
station
through.
here.
Let me get this through because I believe we got lost here. Let me just bring everything back. All right. The reason why I showed my telescope tracking the International Space Station was because I was trying to demonstrate that the telescope knows exactly where it's pointing. It has to in order for this shit to work. The space station is extremely difficult to track by hand, if not impossible. So how do I do it? I have the telescope itself do the moving. Now, in order for it to know where it's pointing, it has to be very accurate with its motors. It needs to know exactly where it's pointing so it knows how fast and how far to slew. So I can trust, given the fact that it can track the station perfectly, I can trust these numbers that I get from the telescope that has that level of accuracy. That's the reason why I showed the station. It was to show you that these telescopes are really fucking smart and they know what they're talking about.
Right, but it's also based off of assumptions, though. It's
What assumptions being made here?
assuming that the Earth is a globe, based off of globe mathematics used
No,
in the
that's not an
instrument that you
assumption.
used.
That's not an assumption. Again, that is a deduction. The reason why we're able to deduce that is because we're asking the question, which model results in zero contradictions? So we applied two models to the test. I showed you the flat Earth model. That model resulted in contradictions. Then I showed the globe model. It didn't result in contradictions. So then we asked the question, okay, given the globe model and given these measurements that we objectively got in reality, what's the radius? Oh, and look at that. We got a value for the radius, something that all the conspiracy nuts say is impossible. But yet we were able to do it.
It's funny because the radius that you give is not the same one that's been given in
What's the radius of the source?
7,000 something. 7,000. It's like I believe Jaron presented the same kind of argument that you did.
Jaronism is a total jackass. Don't listen to him. What about actual like official sources?
No, I'm just saying you're just showing me the same stuff that he showed me, which is, a very weak argument in my opinion. Because then again,
He didn't show you this shit. I can tell you that much. Jaron hates my fucking guts. He would never show you my work.
You're not basing things off of physical reality. You're basing things off of luminaries.
Dude,
in the sky.
we did these here is a picture of us out in the field making this measurement in reality.
Right, but you're still basing your information off of luminaries in the sky.
You mean the North Celestial Pole in which the points rotate? That's not a luminary, my guy. That's a point in the sky in which the stars rotate, not the stars themselves.
All right, I think we have hammered this way too much. We have so many more super chats. Basil problems. OTW, let me blow your mind. What about the antimatter torus field? Is it unitary? He's joking. Never mind.
I know. I noticed it was a joke.
Icy Spin, explain the 24-hour sun for the audience, OTW.
I would, but then I'd have to play a video that you're not going to listen to.
How about just a quick explanation?
How about not?
Okay, so you don't have one. There's your answer. Sorry.
Basil, for $5. Thank you so much. OTW, I appreciate your understanding of electromagnetism. Can you describe the Maxwell equations? What is the difference between div and curl?
No.
This just keeps getting better.
Spin, OTW, okay. Icy Spin, OTW, your confidence is done by your melted brain. Come on, count. Oh my God. Basil,
It's water
for
on the duck's
$5.
back.
Thank you so much. OTW, we know you're a Poe, but why? Not funny, and you're not going to make any money from it. Maybe you should polish the bishop and then cry.
What do you mean?
But,
I've already made like almost $100 tonight. What are you saying?
No. Polish the bishop means jacking off, just so that we're clear.
It's a reference
Sorry, I'm
to
not
another
familiar
player.
with your English dumb expressions.
Oh, then let me give you the lotion and show you an example. But you will have to subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Got the scammer for £2. Back to remedial class for OTW. Icy spin. Your stupidity is manning. Let it out. Breathe. Daryl M. Do buoyancy without gravity.
Yeah, what is the equation for the density, buoyancy, whatever, without gravity?
You guys will seem to think that I'm some sort of physician.
I mean, you did say physics like a lot.
All right, I'm not some sort of mathematician, Einstein guy. I don't know all of these dumb equations, and I just base what I know off of my personal experience.
Okay.
And what I can perceive,
Max, if I
and
may.
observe, and be able to demonstrate in physical reality,
cool.
not
I got
something
a question about
you
that,
know,
though.
some fairy tale that you guys are looking up in the sky and you're making all kinds of sort of calculations to fucking make an educated
calculations
guess,
are a real pain in the
some
ass, I
sort of
know.
educated guess that you think is reality when you know it's not.
Math is very hard. I totally agree. I got a question about why things
math
fall.
isn't hard. Math is
Are you
stupid.
saying that things fall because of pressure differentials with the surrounding medium in this example being air?
That would be my argument, I guess. Yes.
Okay, so the pressure difference is what gives the object a directional influence. So if I let go of something, the directional influence is down, and that's because of the surrounding air.
Right, because of the pressure, obviously.
Okay, cool. So if the surrounding medium is what inerts or imparts a force onto the object to push it or pull it down, whatever, why do things still fall in a vacuum?
Oh, so things fall in a vacuum?
They do.
No, they don't, because you can't have matter in a vacuum.
Can we
matter
clip that and make a YouTube
vacuum.
short out of it?
Yes. I mean,
So things don't fall in a vacuum? Are you shitting me right now?
Hold on, because I can play the video because it gets us the monetized, but I can show you one thing.
Yeah, do the one where they had the feathers next to the bowling ball in a giant vacuum chamber and let both of them go at the exact same time. Because that was fucking awesome. Yeah, that one. Do the short version. No, do the YouTube short version. We don't have patience for that shit. Yeah, that one. So with the
sorry.
Yeah, don't do that.
The only reason they fall in a
Look at
vacuum
that.
is because they have a
So
downward.
we have a bowling ball, and then the feathers actually take longer to fall down with air. But then in the vacuum, look at that, they fall at exactly the same rate. So yes, things do fall in a vacuum.
That's all. That's the only reason.
So being that things do fall in a vacuum, but they don't have that surrounding medium that you assert causes them to fall in the first place, then why do they still fall despite not having that medium to influence them?
That would be density.
But you said it was based on the surrounding air.
Right.
There is no surrounding air.
When it's not the pressure, it's the density of the object. Hence why the feather was going down slower.
Okay, so you're saying that the bowling ball has the exact same density as the feathers?
No, exactly. I was saying it was the opposite. The feather was going down slower. Hence,
when
less
there is
resistance.
air.
The feather
when there is air. When there is air,
why was the feather
they went
following?
slower. But
Why
in
was
a
the feather-
vacuum,
in the vacuum, there's no air. The feather was still falling. But that was
yes, the
based
feather
off
was
of the
still
density.
falling, but they have different densities. So by your logic, they should fall at different rates in a vacuum, yet they don't.
Yes, they did. You just showed me the video. They didn't fall at the same speed.
Hey, Mac, can you bring that video back up? Because apparently he wasn't paying attention.
Probably not. But I perceived the bowling ball hitting the surface before the feather.
Max, do me a favor. Bring up the main video. That was probably my bad. Bring up the main video, full screen that shit, and fast forward to the part where they drop the bowling ball and the feathers in the vacuum.
Yes, 1 second.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you and all that you do.
Anyway, in the first place, there's no such thing as a true vacuum, right? to begin with.
It doesn't matter.
So you're still there. Your argument is weak because you're not actually using
Fast forward a little
true
bit.
vacuum.
Keep going,
doesn't-
keep
it
going,
doesn't
keep
matter.
going.
So
No,
here-
keep going past.
They drop, the bowling ball goes first, the feathers kind of glide down, right?
Yeah.
Now,
So you're saying that right now these people are inside a vacuum?
here there is still air when they fall at different rates. When you have the bowling ball first and the
Hey, Max.
feathers later.
Let me explain. Okay. This is a vacuum chamber. They did not pump all the air out of the vacuum chamber for the first drop. So for the first drop, they're saying, okay, here's what happens with regular air pressure. We have a bowling ball and we have a feather or feathers. We see that the bowling ball hits the ground first and the feathers, because of air resistance, slowly drift down to the floor. So that was number one. Then for the second drop, they pumped all the air out of it. And this is what happened. Play it. Look at that. So this is in slow. Play it. Don't pause.
No,
motherfucker.
yeah, I know, because it gets us demonetized.
Aw.
I've seen it. I've done it before. But you can see that. We can share that.
There's criticism in here. DMCA doesn't apply. Take the risk,
but
Max.
It happened to me before, dude. Come
Oh,
on,
fuck.
I know. The BBC is a bunch of wankers.
Yes, they are. Okay, fine, whatever. But anyway,
But you can see they fall at the same rate.
Yes. Okay. So they follow the same rate. I wish we could play the damn thing without copyrights, but whatever. So for the first drop, there was air pressure. Then they pumped all the air out, and then they dropped it again. And what you see is that the feathers and the bowling ball fall at the same rate. Now, if the argument is density is what provides the directional influence when no air is involved, then that would mean that we would expect them to fall at different rates because they have different densities. But we're not seeing that. So your hypothesis doesn't match what we're seeing in reality.
Well, when it comes to a vacuum, you might be correct, right? But in reality,
yeah.
Where we live in a place where there's an atmosphere, pressure, density. These things are facts proven. They're not theories. They're actually things. Oil floats on water. That's something that's
no one said that density and buoyancy doesn't exist. No one said that. What we're saying is that your explanation as to why things fall, period, doesn't make any sense when you only appeal to those two things.
It also doesn't make sense when I have a spinning ball that I live on, who's supposed to be emitting centrifugal force, pushing everything.
I already went over the math.
exterior.
You didn't understand
No,
it.
the
It's a
math is
difference of
irrelevant. I'm going with
0.3% of your weight.
What we can physically
No,
see,
hold
feel,
on.
and observe. None of these
It's a
things.
difference of
There's no
0.3%, my guy.
G-forces. There are no G-forces.
0.3%, my guy.
You don't.
It's a difference of 0.3%.
Let me see if I can make an.
That is
Let me
total
see if I
bullshit.
can make an. Let me see if I can make
0.3%, my
an.
guy.
Let me
That's
see if I can
bullshit.
make an analogy
0.3.
here. Stop.
Bullshit.
Let me see if I can.
Bullshit.
Let me see if I can make an analogy here. Okay.
Of the 0.3?
So,
Yes, please.
Of the,
Yeah,
of-
total
of
bullshit.
The, of the difference.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
We have gravity going one way. And
Gravity's
we
a theory.
have,
It doesn't exist. You can't feed me that one.
I already explained that to you. If you don't understand, if you don't know what words mean, that's not my problem. But let me give you an analogy over this. We have gravity going one way, and we have centrifugal force going that way. Now, let's replace this with gravity being a buff bodybuilder and centrifugal force being a toddler. Now, they both have to push each other. Who do you think would do action like that? If you're pushing the opposite way, and this force is greater, so much greater than the other force, it goes that way, right?
That would be insane to believe that there's a force stronger than centrifugal force, my friend.
There is.
Look,
I mean,
I've
there
worked
is. We
in
can
an
measure it.
caffeine extraction company where
Caffeine?
they extract the caffeine from the coffee beans and they pass it
What's
through.
caffeine have to do with this shit?
They pass it through a centrifuge, which actually extracts all of the water out of the pure caffeine, and all you're left with
at what
the
RPM?
exterior
At what
sides of the
RPM?
centrifuge is the caffeine particles.
At what RPM?
I don't know, but it's going fucking.
I can tell you it's way more than 0.0006, right?
Well, if that's the case, then
let me explain what you're claiming is so strong.
The
It
Earth
moves
spinning at 1,000 miles an hour is a ridiculous
twice
concept.
as slow. It spins twice as slow as the hour hand on a clock. Twice
To give you another
as
reference,
slow.
Earth spins at 0.0006, and those vinyl decks that you see there spin at 33 and 45 RPM. It's so much faster.
Yes. So the strength of the centrifugal force is directly caused by the speed or the RPM of rotation. So if you wanted a strong centrifugal force, then you would need to increase the RPM. If you want it weaker, then you decrease the speed, you decrease the RPM. So what you are describing with the coffee beans, I'm assuming that's how they do it. I'm not too keen on the manufacturing of coffee, but if they put it in a centrifuge, then they're spinning it at probably over 1,000 revolutions per minute. 1,000. The Earth spins at 0.00006. That is a fuck ton of a difference.
So, in other words, it's either the math that they've given us at 1,000 miles per hour is a goddamn lie, and that we're actually not really spinning at that speed.
No,
or that there.
No, it can be. No, the Earth is just very, very massive.
Here's the thing: if the surrounding the planet like a snow
there
globe
is no dome.
spinning.
Do you have evidence?
Based off of ice and atmosphere and gases and all that bullshit.
Do you have evidence for the dome?
No, I'm telling you that this is the only reason that we would have some sort of spinning force that would explain what you're saying is that we would have to be inside of a snow globe, and it would be the glass globe that's spinning around the Earth at 1,000 miles an hour.
You made a claim there.
That's what I'm asking.
Your evidence for
this
the
is
dome?
not me making a claim. I'm asking the question.
No, you made a claim.
Do you have evidence for a dome?
You don't even have evidence for a globe. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, all right.
Trying to get away from the question is not actually answering it. Do you have evidence for a dome? Yes or no?
I was using that as a metaphor. I wasn't making the claim.
Okay, so you're not actually suggesting stupidly that there's a dome. Okay,
obviously
thank
not.
goodness.
That's not what I was saying. What I'm trying to tell you though is, based off of what you've explained to me, and the Earth spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, there would have to be. I'm speculating here. This is speculation.
You're strawmanning his claim.
Yeah, exactly. There would have to be some sort of snow globe ball made of
No, you're strawmanning his claim. So we're going to move on, all right? Icy Spin is very spicy today. How many mice are tickling inside you right now?
Anyway, I got to head on out of here. I've already overstepped my schedule. It was a hoot. I had a great time, guys. It was fun.
It was fun.
Next time, let's debate on a subject that I'm much more,
What subject would that be?
Well, I'm more into the religious debates, honestly, to tell you.
I'll debate you on that any day.
Yeah, I'm big time spiritualist, if you want to call it that.
Okay, so would your position be like Christianity versus atheism, or what?
No, I think Christianity's full of shit, and I think the atheists are stupid.
But you appeal to the Bible.
Okay, so what about this?
Because the Bible has embedded information in there.
Okay, what about this? Biblical literalism versus atheism.
No. I'm not a literalist when it comes to the Bible. That's where you're mistaken, sir.
Okay, then what is your if you were to describe yourself religiously, what would you describe? How would you describe it?
They would call me, sir, the allegory man.
So everything means anything. I like that.
Everything in the Bible and scriptures and any given religion is all allegory. There are no historical facts there. It's just a bunch of lies.
But then you appealed. Why did you appeal to the Bible as
there's
evidence
truth in the Bible? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not.
But
because,
not
because I don't believe in the literal interpretation of the Bible, that it doesn't have significant truths embedded inside there, encoded in the message.
All right, OTW. Well, if we do have this debate, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, that's fine. I'll make the title whatever we want. Let's have it on my channel this time. That'll be great. Anyway,
just
thank you very much for showing up.
Yeah, anytime.
I'll get you his email.
Yep,
Reds.
we'll go from there.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, do you have any more super chats that you would like to read
Yes,
before
I
we
have
start
so
the after
many
show?
more. I have so many more.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm glad I helped you make some money tonight, guys. Anyway, I'm gotta get out of here.
Oh,
Have a great one.
we made money either way. It's not a big deal.
That's good. All right. Take care, people.
Bye.
All right. I'm back. That was it. Let's open up the panel. So he made a lot of money. He made fucking, man, his super chats were going up the fucking walls, man. Maybe I should start believing in the globe. Maybe I, get more super chats. Oh, he makes money anyway, he said. Oh, yeah, it's true. All right, so I just dropped the link in chat, and anybody wants to join. Or I'll just head on out of here, guys, and that'll be the end of this debate and the show for tonight. We did a pretty good broadcast today, and I find that, the same arguments that they bring up it's the same type of bullshit that you keep hearing every time you talk with a Glober. And to be able to substantiate a position of explaining math in shit like that when it's just a bunch of fucking Star Trek, magic tricks to convince you of bullshit, it's just like, yeah, believe me, I'm telling you, the numbers, they don't lie. Yes, they do lie, motherfucker. If you invent the numbers, you come up with these parameters, they could be absolutely used to, substantiate your lies. Come on, man. It's just a bunch of numerology. We got fucking Red 40 coming in with the $20 super chat. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Built by the real, made for the few. Gave when it counted. I ride for you. No, ain't no show without the flame you bring. This is your house, I just run the stream. Shout out to Red 40, and we got Snafu Snaps in the house. What's up, Snapster?
Oh, you destroyed them, bro. It was like watching a fucking square cube be put in a triangle hole, bro. I mean, you can't argue with stupid, man. And especially, whatever. I did want to say, though, you did well, but, fuck them. The tactics were funny, too. The whole 2-on-1 thing, which you handled very well. I also
figured
said
that was what was going to happen.
Right, you did. They did the 2-on-1 thing.
He didn't want me. He kept telling me bring some evidence when I tried to present my evidence and play my videos. They wouldn't have it. They wouldn't listen to it right away. They would fucking jump on it and start, bullshitting. Oh, those are two poles. Those are two poles. Yeah, but that's not what I'm here to explain. I don't give a fuck about the two magnetic poles. What I'm here to show you is the toroidal field, the dual toroidal field that you guys call two poles, and the plane of inertia right in the center, which you guys seemingly don't fucking know what it's all about, but right there, it's right there in front of your eyes. That's showing you, demonstrating to you on a micro scale what's happening at the macro. But
he started quoting NASA, bro. Okay? NASA says.
Fuck NASA.
But hey, I wanted to tell you, I have the full Landry Daddies debate, flat earth debate. So, I mean, you're still on this whole flat earth thing, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, we ought to review that debate.
Yeah, I agree. We should have that debate. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if you're planning on staying on tonight. I don't know if you're gonna go soon. Either way, I could get it to you since we're on that subject. But
maybe
yeah,
not
no, you
tonight.
did fine.
I might check it out tomorrow.
Okay.
Since Landry's having a shit fit lately, I might as well go
Oh,
ahead
yeah.
and make it. Just stick the thing in further and twist it and turn it.
Well, I mean, I would be interested since his dad did the flat Earth debate, and since we're in this whole debate thing, let's watch the full debate and then review it.
All right, so show up tomorrow morning. Oh, wait a minute. We're Saturday tomorrow?
Monday, maybe, since you're pro Saturday, whatever.
Well,
whenever.
Tomorrow night. Bring it up tomorrow night. We'll
yeah,
review
and
it.
I'll send it to you if I can't
sucks-
make it, whatever. You'll have it either way. But I just want to say you did fine tonight. You can't stick a square in a fucking circle, so to speak. Pedo Pogo optics. When I say Pedo Pogo, when you make Hanko Flamo look smart, you're really fucking. There's some dumb shit going on. So I just, after watching what happened today, you did fine. you did fine, man.
I
But
did
yeah.
better. I didn't have any AI bullshit and nothing. I had a couple of documents that Jeep sent me and some photos, and I didn't use any AI this time. I just went with my heart, like Dick told me to do, and
you did fine. And the fact that they were even bringing up NASA and discrediting your evidence or just we saw what was going on there, and then the whole mod god shit. No, you did perfectly fine. So, anyways, you have a good night, brother. Let me know, and I'll get because I was just like, we should review the whole flat Earth debate that Lando's dad did, and see how that went. With all this flat Earth debate shit going on. So,
right, and trying to feed me some weird concept that the Earth is turning really slowly.
Well, I love how they use the spear.
It's going 1,000 miles an hour, but it's going really slowly.
Well, and then I love how they went back to using the disc versus basketball.
Then they were
all the basketball.
Then they were using the vinyl disc to tell me about math.
Oh, man.
Well, if you look at a disc and you use this fucking equation with the disc, you gotta. Yeah, okay, but where's your equation for the ball? Right? Because the North Pole's up here, the equator's kind of somewhere around there. How does that work out when it's on a ball or a sphere? They never explain that, man. It's like,
no they didn't.
We're using flat Earth math to explain the globe.
You have them in a corner, bro. It was real obvious watching they go down. So, no, I'm excited to see more debates for what you do.
Well, we'll give a little spoiler to the audience before I shut it down. A link to that video with the...
No, because it's the full video. I want to just give it to you.
Well, I was going to... Well, then send it to me in private.
Okay, give me a second.
Shout out to fucking Red 40, man. I got to play the video again.
All right, you got it.
You got it?
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking, baby. Oh, yeah.
Lando's Dado, Flat Earth Debato. You just laugh. You already know what time it is with the crew and the truth, yo.
I gotta share this, guys. Just the title is fucking hilarious. Just the title is hilarious. Hold on a second.
And then the timing of all this, like we find this out. Lando goes, he goes, you don't have the full video. Where'd you get? I say, yeah, I do. Where'd you get it? I'm like, it's on Rumble. He was freaked out that I got the whole thing.
Yeah, it says here, Landry Chamberlain Dearth Dave Weiss flat smacks my dad.
Like I said, we knew his dad was doing hit and runs and all this other shit. But I didn't know he was flat Earth debating, man. He's doing the flat Earth debating shit. His dad. So this is big. I wonder what the optics are. We should review it. That's all I'm saying. Check out what his daddy says.
This will be the content for tomorrow evening, guys. We'll be back here again at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Montreal, Canada, and we'll be reviewing this particular debate tomorrow and see what comes out of this. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a good laugh.
Shameless plug. You want to help OTW out? Help them out. Also, hit my PayPal or Cash App. Try to get that clutch as soon as possible. Got some shit going on. But other than that, no, good stuff, man. And yeah, I can't wait. This will be a good review. So,
all right, man.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Later.
Take care. All right, guys. This was an awesome show, man. I'm really glad that you guys are here to support, OTW and everything. Fantastic. You guys are the best. And I hope you enjoyed this debate. I hope you guys enjoyed me kind of like trying to rip these guys a new asshole. Obviously, they mod godded me, and I was expecting that, I was kind of like, I knew it, You guys probably knew it too. Anyway, everybody's telling me in the chat. It's like, OTW, the fucking... it's a 2 versus 1 scenario here. Yeah, thanks a lot, Red, man. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, thanks to Jeeps. She helped out a lot. So you guys are awesome. It wouldn't have been possible without you guys. This is why I did it this way. This is exactly why I did it this way. I wanted to keep my chat private, just intimate, just you guys and me. And, kind of like, riff off of what you guys were throwing at me in chat instead of using some sort of AI, right? I'd rather, endear myself to my audience instead of listening to fucking Chat GPT. I fucking love you guys. All right, so this is OTW signing out for today, coming at you from the belly of the beast. Peace.